Alright, you're live.
Okay. Hello, everybody. Welcome to Story Mode. We are into our 7th session, and on the last session, the group, name yet to be determined, had made their way over to the Old Owl Well, where they were to encounter a necromancer of sorts. But before that, they took a moment of pause during one of their nights camping to kind of just share a bit about themselves. But essentially, upon making their way to the Old Owl Well, they encountered a necromancer, a human necromancer by the name of Hammond Cost. And essentially, he had reasons of his own intent to bring back a person. A person who has been deceased for some time close to a millennia. This infamous Lady Fae who was convicted of being a witch and had her body dismembered and scattered across the lands. And he wanted to right this wrong and bring back Lady Grey with a bit of necromancy. But the group intended to stop him, and so they did, sleeping and binding him, but not before his army of undead zombies woke up and almost collapsed and incapacitated 2 members. But with Mirabelle's wit, they were attracted to her, and she drove them off the cliff. And essentially, that's where you guys finished off last session.
Yep.
The zombies, the dozen or so zombies are now slain, fallen off the cliff, driven off the cliff, and you have Hammond Cost bound and gagged and incapacitated, with Kieran sitting on top of him.
I think he woke up when Kieran sat on him.
Essentially so. So, what do you guys do at this point? The 3 of you, Mirabelle, Bolg, and Alex, are looking and staring over the cliff. You have just finished firing your last bolt into the last zombie that was still twitching on the bottom of the cliff. And Kieran, you are sitting on top of Hammond, and he's kind of just fidgeting and trying to weasel his way out of the bonds. He probably would actually even have enough strength to just shake you off.
We should probably go help Kieran.
You guys turn to Kieran, and he's probably like as Hammond is, struggling under the bindings. Kieran's like riding his back like a rodeo, like a rodeo bull. As the guy's just like caterpillaring across the ground.
He's actually slowly making himself like away from you guys, inch by inch.
What are we going to do with this, Bolg? Maribel, any thoughts? Maribel's
I have a thought. And I'm still just kind of flying around and taking joy in just flying because I don't get to do this very often. But she'll look down at her friends and she'll say to Alex, well, he would fall down very nicely too.
Well, this certainly poses a problem. We could always just bring him to town. Won't really do much. Necromancy is certainly punishable by death, and really it's not going to solve much problems other than give them another body to string up.
And we don't have the supplies to take him all the way back to town. We barely have enough for our own usage. Well, we should at least go keep him from rolling around in the floor while we decide.
Isaac, you're muted.
Kieran screams off in the distance, "You think?" As he's still getting, as Hamon is still trying to buck him off.
I'll just kind of go and just put my foot on him to keep him from moving around.
Yeah, he's made about maybe like a good 10 feet of distance. So this is quite the ride.
Kieran sighs and slumps off of Hamon and says, Oh, you giants, you're so good at this."
Well, Bulg, whatever we're doing, we need to decide quickly. We don't really have... What time is it, anyways? I don't
It is probably, at this point, probably just afternoon.
I mean, we might have to stay for camp anyway.
Well, if we deal with this quickly, we could at least get some distance before having to stop again.
Bill will land down next to him and, like, just take out her dagger and kind of look around with the look of, like, what are we waiting for?
From the mumbling, you hear Hammond Koss trying to say something.
Should we let him speak, or should we just go ahead and tell him what's gonna happen?
I mean, he's a necromancer. Do you really think letting him speak's gonna end well for us? That's right. We've cut off all your spells. We know your tricks.
Do you want to cut off more?
Now,
I appro-
Marigold, that's rude.
There wouldn't be much to cut up anyway. We'd be basically tenderizing him at this point.
Kieran goes white.
Why is Karen go?
The brutality.
Now, you're being excessively cruel. If we have to do this, then it should be done as painlessly as possible.
It is painless if I hit the head right.
If you hit the head right.
I guess that rules out the sharp rocks.
Yeah, that would be excessive, Alex.
You mean... Yes, well... Okay, so... If we're gonna do this... do I need to do that? Okay, so I guess... I'll have to... I mean, I'm sure this won't go over well with him anyways, because he's, not pleased with the situation, as he should not be, as it should be, because, execution, but... We'll just spend a minute, we'll spend a minute giving him... It's not necessarily a last rite, it's a, it's the, Alex is pretty much, obligated to offer him the turning, where it's basically a prayer where you offer someone who's about to die, you offer them the...
Last rites.
No, not really. I mean, you offer them basically assistance getting... The Ilmater will help, escort them to whatever afterlife it is they're supposed to go to. Which, he can't really respond because he's gagged, and will stay that way.
Bell will bend down and say to him, "Oh, I am sorry about this, but you sent a lot of zombies after us."
Yes, well, Bulg, if... Just do it right.
Gotcha.
He says, gagged.
He says gag.
That's all he says.
I don't. I. I don't know if this is right. Maybe he really is trying to say something.
Yes, and then you take the gag off and he teleports across the plane.
Hmm.
Kieran, it is better than blowing his limbs off one by one.
Why was that an option?
That wasn't
I'm
an
still-
option.
I'm still trying to get better about that. It's difficult.
Did you used to do that?
Well, I mean, she did turn that one hobgoblin into a pile of goo.
I have no mouth and I must scream.
Yes, well, Kieran, what would you do in this situation? We can't let him run free, and we also can't take him back to town.
Unless, of course, you want to drag him behind the ox and let him starve along the way.
To be fair, we don't have enough food to account for him either. It's not like we could take him back logistically
I
anyway.
think that's what Mirabel's saying, is if we brought him back...
No, yeah, but Bolg is repeating that because he didn't think about that.
Mm,
Even if we wanted to be merciful, we couldn't.
If you guys are okay with it, it's at like 2.5 days back to town, so he won't die of starvation.
I
but
mean,
it's
how
not
much food
pleasant.
do you guys
Yes,
have?
but that would be suffering.
How much food do you guys have?
I mean, I gotta double check actually.
damn it, the shortcut to my
So-
character sheet doesn't work because the folder name changed.
I mean, I do have enough rations to share with him on the way back, but he attacked us, so I'm not going to.
Yeah, because I was gonna say it's like I have enough food to last 10 days, but
I don't think I... Actually, was this pre-subtraction? I don't know. Anyways. Yeah, I don't have a whole lot on me because, you know, I have to seriously manage the weight I carry because I don't have a lot of strength. And I have a lot of random shit. So, if we take him back to town, they're just going to execute him anyways, that's what happens to people that do necromancy.
There are worse things that could happen. We could have Bolg drop him down the well.
or suplex him. But that's beside the point.
Well,
What was that thing that you were offering, Alex?
say what?
What was that you were offering? That right of
The turning.
I don't know. I
Explaining
have
that.
to memory. I'm sorry.
It's something you offer to people that are at their death, that they need not take the hard path to their afterlife. They can be escorted by Ilmater.
Perhaps we give that to him then.
I just did.
What did he say? Or do?
He's gagged. He can't say anything.
Which is why it's like Kieran kind of scratches his head and says, "How do we know if he accepted or not if he can't say anything?"
Isn't that his problem?
Damn, Mirabelle.
That's cold.
I'm in shift.
Verbal acceptance isn't required. It's not necessary that I know his answer. Just that it's offered.
Given what he was trying to say through the gag, is it possible that I can insight that to see if it might have been anything harmful or?
I'm glad you asked. I think you're the only one that cares enough to do so. So roll insight, but it's not something that's very easy, so this is going to be pretty difficult.
Oh!
You got
First
this.
roll of the night.
Okay. Don't fuck. Oh, it hit my PB.
It's got it at least once a session.
Oh, holy shit. That's a nat 20 off the bat. Okay. So that's a 21. What the fuck?
Kieran's
Okay.
feeling feelings.
Okay, I'll roll with that.
What do you think he's trying to say? I'm going to ask you, what do you think, as in character, what do you think
Oh,
he's trying to say?
Okay. I mean, considering we just kicked his ass, like, what is his... I want to say that I believe in the... Kieran would believe in the benefit of the doubt, and maybe he does have something to say, but he also does think that everybody else has a valid point, and that, like, he might, like, he cast a spell. So, is it possible that I can have, like, a readied action, where if, like, what comes out of his mouth even vaguely sounds like a spell, I can either re-gag him, or, like, I don't know, like, stick a rapier through his throat so he can't speak? Which I know is not ideal either, but...
In terms of ready to action, no, but you'll have to roll for initiative in that case. However, he doesn't look like he has the on his face, like visually. Yes, he does look like a necromancer. He has that sallow skin. He has the tattoo on his forehead. But he never really meant any harm to anyone.
I also took away his focus, didn't I?
I mean,
Because I took away everything he had.
I mean,
Can they cast without focus?
you can still cast spells without focus. Focus only
You,
requires.
Kieran, even though you know that there are some spells that you can cast without your lute, your ukulele, essentially, but not many. But yes, he is a necromancer, but he did not seem to intend to hurt anyone. And if anything, it looked like on his face, his eyes, you can see into his eyes, those dark necromantic eyes. He was trying to warn you of something.
He's sitting over there. I'm just trying to resurrect my waifu. Goddammit, leave me alone.
Kieran kind of wrings his wrists as he looks at the rest of the party, and he says, I don't know you guys. I won't go against any of you. If you believe often him is the right way to go, then I won't get in your way, but I think maybe what he has to say might have some value. Perhaps just hear the man out before we cave in his skull.
While Kieran is discussing this, I would like to start looking through this journal that the hawk gave to me.
Okay.
And see if there's anything of value to our current situation inside the journal.
All right. This is a very thick journal. It's like it's like a textbook sized book, so it's about like an inch or two thick. And there's a lot to go through, but what you notice is that it looks like this book has been sitting in water for some time. So the ink is smudged and faded. Some of the text is legible, but it would take some time to process it, and it seems to be written in a much older version of the current day language. So you can make an investigation check, but this is going to take up some time.
Yeah, sure, because basically after Belle stopped talking, she was just kind of paging through the book from there, so
Right.
we'll find out.
Is there anywhere you want to be sitting in particular when you do this?
I'll just sit on the side of the well, because I think we're still kind of nearby.
Yep, essentially. I don't think you moved hand and cost anywhere. Ham and cost and
He
all.
moved himself.
Investigation.
Yeah, he moved himself like 10 feet away.
All right, that's going to be a
Calculator.
23 to investigation.
All right, I'll let you know after a period of time while the others discuss.
Well, very well, Kieran, but I don't know what he could possibly say that could redeem that. And like looks back at the like massive pile of corpses on the rocks.
I'm not saying that because we'll redeem him, but I don't know. I just think we should hear him out.
Yeah, that seems fair.
All right, we'll go ungag him and see what he has to say, I guess.
Kieran goes towards him and Cost and says, "All right, Mr. Scary Necromancer, we're going to move your gig for just a second. You seem like you might have something important to say. Please don't hurt us with any scary magic."
He nods. He nods vigorously. And during that time, Belle, when you kind of just process through the book, as difficult as it is to read, there is some magic binding this book. It's over like a millennia. It's still in shape, even though it's been weathered. There's some magic that binds the book and keeps the papers not completely shredded. Although withering away, you get the insight that this is the journal of Lady Faye, the woman that is being attempted to be resurrected, essentially. It dictates sort of her daily entries, a lot which has been faded, but one thing is confirmed. The accusations of her being a witch is very much true. And the last few pages kind of just reads that, "If I am found guilty of my crimes, whoever shall find this book, let them know that I am a witch." And bring me back.
Okay, so I assume I basically find this as Kieran is ungagging him, so I'll just kind of look up and see what I have missed out on, because I've been reading.
Kieran, you ungag him at this point. And you see this happening, Belle. Hammond says, "There's danger that looms the area."
What sort of danger?
The orcs. The orcs in the plains.
Oh, right. We were supposed to take care of them next, weren't we?
Yes, well, not for the next few days. We don't really have the...
They could be here any moment. They know about my camp. This is why I've summoned the zombies. They know about me. They scouted me. And now you've killed the only thing that defends us.
Is there any particular... Sorry, you go.
I was gonna say, you could have said that at the start, and we would have understood you a bit better.
Well, if you just left me, you wouldn't have to.
Yes, but the town won't let us leave you because necromancy is illegal.
There are no laws here. There's nothing illegal.
It's immoral!
That's different.
We've heard a lot of excuses of there's no laws here and I can do whatever I want.
But yet people still do it.
You say there are no laws. You say there are no laws here, but that's not true. Law has come to Phandelver.
There's God's laws, after all.
I would also like to point out that a poor woman making her own living, using with what she has, is a lot different than raising the dead.
And don't get me started on this whole multiple gods nonsense. You know exactly what I mean when I say against God's will.
I don't believe in your God. I believe
here
in...
we go.
Why should I believe in your God when you don't believe in mine?
See, this is why I usually don't like going through this nonsense. Killing was a lot easier in the military when they just said go and smash.
But that's why nobody likes the military.
Bull gives Kieran a very stern look, and then returns back to the necromancer.
Kieran gives him like...
Kieran, did you know that she really was a witch?
I mean, I probably
pointing to the book.
I probably figured that. Also, before I continue on with this, is there anything particularly different about a witch versus a regular spellcaster, or
No, it just terms terminology.
Which is supposed to be like a female warlock.
Okay. Kieran shrugs and says, I mean, it's pretty much what he said, and I'm not saying that it was wrong, but I'm also not saying that maybe she deserved to be lynched.
When you told your story earlier, no one had evidence, but it's right here.
That would make sense.
Yes, well, her crimes aren't necessarily relevant. The relevance is his crimes, and what of these people you raised? They didn't have a say in this.
Also, maybe the orcs that might be coming to check on him at any moment. This has been fantastic information, but I do have a question. Why do the orcs want you? Is it just the usual kill and pillage wherever they are, and you just happen to be in the area, or do you have something they want?
He nods.
To the former?
He nods. This is the Orclands. I shouldn't be here, but this is important to me.
Ah, territorial. Sounds about right.
Yes, you say that like orcs have any other prerogative.
At this point, I would like to sort of get up from the well, and I want to go and just make sure that our oxen isn't like wandering off. I want to go like secure the oxen and make sure we're not getting backdoored by orcs.
No one actually went to secure the ox.
I mean,
Awkward.
it was walking with us, though.
It was walking pretty slow.
Yeah, it was walking down the hill towards the necromancer with us before.
Down the hill means away from the necromancer.
I
Yeah.
thought he was at the bottom of the hill by the well.
No, he's
we're at the top.
the well is
The
at
well's
the top.
on top of the plateau.
Oh.
It's like a piece of rock which you guys had ascended towards, and the well is at the top. So does that change anything?
Oh, I guess the ox would have been going up the hill then? I guess I got my, like, vertical direction reversed.
So when you
No,
guys
basically.
go check on
Oh, never mind. Go ahead.
when you guys go check on the ox is there.
Oh,
The ox isn't dumb.
I thought you were gonna say something terrible, like the ox currently has an orc standing over it with an axe, like, embedded into its neck. It's like, oh fuck.
That would have
But who checks on the ox?
variable.
I'm getting the ox.
Okay. When you come upon the ox, you take its reins and you have to lead it back up. Is that what your intent is?
Yeah, I want to pet him on the nose first.
Okay. When you pet him on the nose, you are hit with 7 points of piercing damage as you find a javelin in your shoulder.
Oh, great.
Oh boy.
What?
We fucked, boys.
And you see an orc 30 feet away from you,
Damn it!
standing beside
We are so fucked.
two others. So you're staring down at 3 orcs, and you have the ox as cover. And essentially, the javelin went over the ox and hit you in the shoulder.
Yeah.
The 2 orcs point towards you, readying to throw their javelins. Roll initiative.
God bless America.
Yeah, I don't know about you, Bolg, but I'm about 1 hit from death. So.
Motherfucker! That
Old
one.
busy talking.
There has
He got
to be
that out of the
something-
way.
There has to be something up with these dice, because I just rolled another nat 20.
Nat 1 when you have -1 dex penalty.
Ha. Ha ha. Goodbye.
I got a modified 20.
Okay. Modified 20. Kieran, what is your total?
23.
Modified 20, Alex.
So we should get out of here, right?
And
You think you go
Bolg is
outrun an
0.
orc?
And Mirabelle, how
15.
does 15? Okay. All right, Kieran. Do you make a noise, Mirabelle?
Yeah, I would make noise of I just got hit with a javelin.
What does that sound like? Is that what is that? A scream or what? What have you?
I don't know, and I'm in pain noise. I don't make those in real life. I don't know how to make those noises.
You just
I
stub your toe.
do. I'm very in tune with pain places.
Okay, you hear a scream come from the bottom of the spiral, or more or less around the bottom of the spiral, because the ox has kind of just descended and just walked itself all the way down to the base of the hill.
Okay, Kieran is going to run over to check. How far would that be? Just to, like, get line of sight?
You can simply just walk to the edge of the cliff and look down if you so wish to.
Alright, I'll do that first.
Okay. When you do so, you see that there stand 3 orcs about 30 feet away from Mirabelle and the oxen.
How
The
far
ox.
is that away from me?
Away from you, that's probably close to 60.
Close to 60? Okay.
I think about 60, maybe 70.
Oh. Okay, quickly I will yell to the party, Orcs! 3 of them! And then I'm gonna try and cast Distant Whispers on one of those orcs, and that has a 60-foot range.
Sure. Which one? The one that attacked her, which you can see is without a javelin, or the 2 that are readying javelins?
One of the one that is ready in a javelin.
Okay, it's a wisdom save, yes?
Yeah.
Failed.
Yes. Okay, so that's 3d6s, and it has to run away from me.
Fear the halfling.
9. Plus another 6. Damn, my rolls are good tonight. 12, that's 15 points of damage, and it must immediately use its reaction to move as far away from me as its speed will allow.
Okay. It will run away from you and then trip on a rock and fall to the ground.
Wonderful.
Damn, my next turn has to be using Vicious Mockery to, do the Nelson.
Exactly.
Do you want to do anything else on your turn? Chillax, dude!
Rations do I have? Oh, God, that is not a lot. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and throw a bardic inspiration onto Belle.
Thank you. Is that a D6 or D8?
Alex, you're up.
It's a D8.
Thank you.
I'm
Okay, Alex, what's up?
So you said they're 60 feet from us. 60,
Kieran.
70 feet.
60 feet from Kieran. So once you get to the edge of the hill, like when you look down, that's 60 feet. So you have to go to where Kieran is, over the ledge.
So what's the distance to Kieran?
About 25 feet.
I'm calculating. So 60, 70, about 85 feet total.
If you're trying to make it all the way down, I don't think it's possible for you to do so without taking fall damage.
I mean, I guess. Okay, if I had to traverse the entire circumference of the road, how far is that?
It's probably going to take you 2 turns. Running at full speed.
At my speed?
Full speed.
Because I
Dashing.
run faster than everyone else.
Dashing still.
Because I can move 80.
Yeah.
gotta go fast.
It took 3 revolutions for you guys to go all the way around.
I will... Let's see, what is the range on this? Actually, the range is still pretty good on that. Okay, so I'm gonna run around as far as I can, without my action, just my normal movement. I'm just gonna move the 40 feet. I think my movement's still 40. Yeah, 40.
Okay.
And then I will ready a crossbow attack and I'm going to yell at them to let's see what I want to say. I'm going to say, stop right there, orcs. You're outnumbered and outgunned.
All right. What is your trigger?
I'm going to attack the first one that makes an aggressive movement.
Okay. With that, if that's all you'll do for this turn, we go to the orcs now. One of them and this triggers your ready action, is going to step a few steps forward while throwing his javelin. So make your attack roll against that one. And this is 60 feet away from you, which you stand on the ledge looking down at him.
Okay, let's see.
The other one, Mirabelle, is going to charge towards you with his great axe. He's going to make an attack roll against you.
I got a 21 to hit.
I do not believe this is going to hit you, though, as it's merely an 8. 21 will strike the javelin-throwing orc.
It's
Yeah,
gonna deal...
8 is gonna miss.
Actually, it was higher than a 21. I'm retarded and apparently forgot how to calculate. Anyways, still hits. 10 points of piercing damage from a bolt.
Okay, the bolt sinks into him, shoots his shoulder. He's going to make his javelin attack, which is going to be a 15 to you, Mirabelle.
AC's 14. Do I still have cover behind the ox?
Okay, it's going to hit the ox instead, then.
I was asking. I wasn't saying make it so. Yeah, I mean, we're kind of stuck between an ox and a hard place right now.
No. Beth, it's between an ox and a sharp place.
Oh, you're right.
That's good. That's good. Oh, man.
Man, we are lit. We are lit tonight.
I don't believe they have an ox in the Monster Manual or the Player's Handbook.
I don't think there is either.
So I'm going to use something similar, and
Yeah,
we'll determine if that hits.
I think there might be actual, like, cattle animals in the back of Xanathars, maybe? Was it Xanathars?
Maybe.
Okay, you look that up for me. I'm going to use a horse for the moment, because I feel like it's similar enough. And while that's happening, it misses you, Mirabelle, but it punctures the rump of the ox
Oh,
as
no,
you're trying to lead.
I
away
bet it
from
was Volo's, actually.
Okay, so that is the orc's turn, at least the ones in front of you, Mirabelle. It's your turn.
Oh, yep, here it is. I found it. There is livestock stats in the
Okay.
in the back on 207 of Volo's.
207. Thank you very much. So, Mirabelle, what do you want to do?
Okay. This is exciting. I guess I will Eldritch Blast at the one that Alex shot and hope we can get rid of some of these orcs. Oh, I would like.
Strength save. Actually, the ox is going to run you down.
Oh, good.
Oh, good. More
Yes,
trouble.
At all?
Wait. Oh God, that's
Yeah, that
really-
I'm knocked down.
Okay, you are knocked down.
Wait, what did you have to roll for that? Because you also have Bardic Inspiration.
Yeah, you can if
It's-
you want to use that.
Let's see. Why not? I don't know if it's gonna help. No, that didn't help. That's still below 10, so...
You're going to take 7 points of piercing damage from that, as the charge just runs you down. You're on the ground at this point, but you can simply get back up with half your speed. The cattle, the ox is actually bloodied. If anyone is interested,
No.
and
Damn.
it's trying to take off in the opposite direction. So it's trying to go and into the plains. Actually,
What did we have the ox carrying?
Everything.
everything.
God damn it!
so Mirabelle, what do you do, having that occurred?
Can I panic now?
Absolutely. Hyperventilation starts to occur.
Well, it's time to go down swinging. I would like to move my hex, which I still had concentration on through the damage.
Mhm.
I'll move my hex to the guy that is through the other javelin at the ox.
Yep.
And then I will Eldritch Blast at him after I stand up. Okay. 18 to hit.
That hits.
And that will do... Come on, do work. Yes, do work. Okay, 9 points of force damage and 5 points of necrotic damage.
And this is the one that threw the javelin.
That Alex
Is
shot
now
at.
dead. He explodes into the black hole.
Spaghettified.
And then I will I will mind powers at the orc that's in front of me and try to intimidate him and just speak into his mind. Would you like to join your friend?
Huh?
And the other ones
You
were
haven't-
still rolling on the ground.
At this point, you have no. That one actually is not. When you look at him, he does not get back up for some reason.
Mm.
You say this into his mind while you have a javelin in your head and having been gored by an ox. At that point, Bolg.
All right, I'm gonna run up to the edge of the cliff with Kieran.
Yep.
And I'm going to. How close is the great axe? Great axe wielding orc from me now.
He's still about 60 feet. He's at the bottom, maybe
60
closer
feet?
to 40.
Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and just give him the old-fashioned cold touch.
Chill hand.
Chill touch.
Okay. Chill touch.
Chill hand.
Chill
Yeah.
balls.
Yes. Yes. Chill balls. Let's see. Come on. That's gonna be a disappointing 7.
7. He takes his great axe, shoves parries your chill balls out of the way.
Okay. That's fine.
Been there before.
All right. Next.
Okay. That's all you want to do?
That's all I can do for right
Okay.
now. So, actually, I take that back. I don't have my weapon drawn. Bonus action to weapon bond my maul into my hand.
Just
You still have
it emerges in your hands.
you still have movement.
Yes.
No, he only has 5 feet left.
Yeah, 5 feet. That's not much. I
He
mean,
can choose to walk off the ledge or
actually-
walk behind the ledge.
I'll stay where I'm at.
Okay, or you can take cover behind Alex or Kieran for maybe like a
Alex
little
already
bit
took
cover.
off down the hill. I'm like 15 feet
Oh, yeah,
away from
yeah, you
Bolt
did.
now.
She gone.
Okay, Kieran.
Okay.
Save me.
I'm trying.
I'm
You're
I
so
am
far
saving-
away.
I'm saving a heal spell for when you eventually go down, and then I can bring you back up. Okay, so one has run far away from her, and 2 of them are still on her ass, right?
One of them's dead. One of
One of
them's in
them's
my
dead.
face, and
Only
the other
one-
one is lying on the floor.
2 of them are dead. 1 of them are still in her face.
Okay, the one that's in her face, I'm going to chuck a vicious mockery at.
Hit wisdom save.
Yep.
It's cocked. 12 fails.
Yes. 2 points of damage, as Kieran doesn't throw out an insult, but instead he throws out a song that is so horrible that it distracts this motherfucker, and he just like loses his concentration, which gives him disadvantage on his next attack roll as Kieran pulls out his ukulele. Will ya, mouse, to remember the taste of my toes? Will your toes still end up on your feet? Darling, I will be sucking toes till I'm 70.
Okay, so
I think everyone should get disadvantage for
say
that.
so being meta for a second, just for the sake of a joke, did the orc actually understand that? Can it speak common? I
That's a
need
good
to know.
question. I don't want to give that away because that might reveal too much, but I'll let you know afterwards if you're really wanting to know.
In the orc's mind, I don't even understand the language. That was awful.
I don't know what it is.
That's pretty
Music is music. Music is universal. If it's awful, it's awful. That's it. Yeah, your voice carries like through this open plateau. Like it could just probably be heard for miles at that point. If there was a nest of orcs, they'd probably have heard it too and wanted to smash something as well.
just a bunch of like wild woodland creatures running away.
Yeah, just birds flocking off in the distance. Alex, that awful rendition. What do you do?
Okay, so I move. You said it was. If it would have been, let's see.
You'd have to if you're walking your way down, you'd still have to go about like another another 1.5 turns
Okay.
if you're gonna run all the way down.
I'm going to I guess I'll dash down to get to and Beth's not there, but I'm just gonna get to Mirabelle and try to I want to try to get between them and push Mirabelle back a space so that the orc is in my face.
Okay. Now, when you're running as fast as you are, just give me a perception check. And you don't. This is not. Okay, I'll let you know afterwards. I'll let you know what I do.
Oh boy. 23.
When you're running down, like you're pretty much halfway down until you stop yourself or they stop you. You see 3 orcs climbing up the side of
Jesus!
and they're hanging above you.
This is impossible.
What do you do?
Die probably. Because I got nothing.
Don't say that because you ending up like me. So.
So they're
on the opposite side of the hill, so not where Kieran and Bolg are standing, but you see 3 of them scaling the the cliff stealthily without you guys knowing previously.
I'm going to. Well, damn! I already said I was dashing, so I can't.
You can stop right there, but yeah, this would have been essentially. You have a bonus action, is what it is.
I don't have anything I can do as a bonus action. I guess I will just yell at Bolg that he has incoming because they're climbing up the cliff.
Yep.
Yeah, I was just trying to get to Mirabelle, but yeah, you guys have a lot of trouble coming.
Okay. At that point, 2 of them will pull themselves over the ledge and charge towards Bolg and Kieran aggressively. Because they do so aggressively, they make it within 1 turn using their bonus action, and they're going to shove Kieran off the cliff.
As Kieran's falling. Oh, golly gee!
You can use acrobatics to contest this or athletics to contest the shove.
Acrobatics.
They both go after Kieran?
One of them will go after Kieran to see if it works, and then the other one will decide.
Acrobatics. 100%.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh god. Oh no, I dropped it on my PP again.
Could you not go? Could you go a session without doing that, please?
No!
Dice box. Get one.
No! That's a 23.
All right. That does not have any effect, so you dodge out of the first one. He misses. His brother comes in, and he's going to do it. So again, make another roll.
Okay, now that landed in my notebook. Same roll as last time, a 23.
Okay. This time, however, you fly off.
Cry. Shove was too good.
You shove, and you fall 30 to the ground. So you take 3d6 bludgeoning damage, but you're not falling on the sharp parts, so you're not going to die from the pain of the sharp.
Wait. They both ran up to push Kieran, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Second
the other one
succeeded.
Right, I get that much. Is the second one coming from the side?
They could still be beside each other and still shove.
Alright. Because I'm more of a... I guess that's just wishful thinking on my part, but I know what I'm doing next turn.
Essentially,
Shove party.
You're going to take 13 points of bludgeoning damage as you fall onto the ground and are knocked prone.
Me?
Yes.
Okay, well, I'm out. Peace, y'all. I had 12 points of health left.
Alex, the one that was climbing up, he slides down the side of the rock wall, and he's going to engage in hand-to-hand combat with you. He's going to try to punch the living daylights out of you.
He'll probably succeed.
With a... That's like a 13.
That actually won't hit.
Okay. That's it for him. And we go to Mirabelle.
Heal me.
None of us have heals, and we're out of healing potions.
We're out of potions, damn it.
So, since Kieran is basically down by me at this point because he fell, yes?
he's a little bit raised. He's still on like a little bit higher than you, but essentially you could run to him if you wanted. But you have a orc in front of you.
Okay. What all do I have? Well, let's go for broke. I am going to cast Phantasmal Force on the orc that's standing in front of me. So he needs to make an intelligence saving throw.
Okay. 13 fails.
I'm just double checking the spell. God, I want him to see basically something terrifying, like a demon charging from behind me at him to try and make him run away.
Make him see a gigantic toe.
I mean, yes, actually, I'm gonna do that. I would like to make a gigantic foot start like trying to crush him out of the sky so that he has to move.
That's great. DM's over there like, what the fuck, guys? This is clearly this is clearly now a foot fetish show.
You're all welcome.
So, just for the record, it is the foot is no longer than 10 feet. So, are you okay with that?
That's still a pretty big foot.
It's still a pretty big fucking foot.
Are you okay with that?
Yeah, I'm good with that. And
Okay.
let's see.
So,
An
do you want to run
affected
at
target
this
is
point?
so convinced. I want to know if like DM rules that he actually takes damage from this. An affected target is so convinced of the phantasm's reality that it can take damage from the illusion. A phantasm created to appear as a creature can attack the target. Similarly, a phantasm created to appear as fire, pool of acid, or lava can burn the target. It can deal 1d6 psychic damage to the target if it is in the phantasm's area or within feet of the phantasm.
Yeah, it'll do
Provided
damage.
that the illusion is of something that can do damage.
It'll think
Okay.
it does damage, so you can definitely roll that 1d6 psychic damage.
A
He
giant,
gets cooked by a gigantic disembodied foot.
yeah, a giant gross
He's
foot
going
definitely does
to-
damage.
He is going to take 4 points of gross foot damage.
Oh!
Psychic damage.
It's like that SpongeBob scene where a giant foot just stomps whatever it was that it does. I can't remember what the episode is, but it's disgusting.
Upon further examination, it's a half-orc foot.
It's Bolg's foot.
It's
It is Bulg's foot.
It's got unami flavored socks on too.
I regret that now. I regret it.
What do you do,
You-
Belle?
You will sit there and like it!
Like it or lick it.
Did he actually
Okay, now we
try
have-
to attack me?
Um,
Did he actually try to attack me last round?
like 2 rounds ago, yeah.
2 rounds ago,
Yeah,
so...
He missed though. Like, yeah, essentially.
he
the last
hasn't
round he tried
attacked-
to miss. He tried but didn't miss, so he hasn't attacked you yet again. Oh!
rather what I'm asked.
Right. He should have attacked, but I forgot about him, so whatever.
So, yeah, since apparently he was kind of frightened by my intimidation last round. There.
Yeah,
So he
He's
still has disadvantage from the Kieran.
He's still
Yes.
thinking about the foot song.
He is still thinking about the foot song. It's gonna haunt him. So
He's trying to hold back vomit right
It's-
now.
it's time to make a gamble and try to fly up to Kieran. So I'm gonna end up provoking
Okay.
an opportunity attack.
Does it
And
balance out though? 'Cause
hopefully
he's
it has-
disadvantaged.
I'm hoping so.
Let's see what happens. He tries to swing at you, but he's swinging at the toe or the foot instead. He rolls a 1, and he kind of just no. Swinging
Toe!
no.
So,
Hope for MVP.
That
Good
point,
lord.
Mirabelle, you hover over top of Kieran, who is downed and fallen. Bolg, you have 2 orcs right beside you. Kieran has just disappeared off the cliff.
I'm going to. Okay, I'm gonna ask you. What should be better? I'm thinking about this carefully. I want to go ahead and take one of the orcs, and I want to hockey check him off the cliff.
All right, make an athletics check against this orc that you are facing. You need to beat currently. Against this one, 13.
Okay, that will be more than enough with adding my bonus in.
Roll 3d6.
18.
Yep, that'll do it. 3d6 as he falls off and... How accurately are you doing this?
I'm doing it purpose. I want to push him away. I want to get him more into the pointed spikes area.
It was gonna be like he lands on top of Kieran.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
just
no,
making
I'm
sure.
not gonna. Yeah, no,
2
I'm
failed
not
death
doing that.
saves.
No, that's fine. That's why I'm trying to. That's why I'm throwing him off the other way with the hip check
Okay.
or the gear check. Let's see. That does 6 points of fall damage from the 3d6 you told me.
All right, 3d6. He does not. You do not succeed in like throwing him. This guy is close to your mass, so it's very hard to exert enough energy to do so. But he falls like right beside Kieran, and now he's on the ground prone, but he's still alive. Do you want to do anything else?
Unfortunately, that's all I can do. But I just remembered the hawk is still flying around for some reason.
Yes, it is.
I've never done anything with that. So I'm gonna just summon. I'm gonna have the hawk go and claw at the other orc's hair and distract him essentially.
Okay, so the other one that's still with you. All right.
Is it
Yes.
bad? Is it bad, Daniel? My first thought was when he was like, "Do you want to do anything else, Bug?" My first thought was just like, "Elbow drop him."
I mean, I could, but then I would have shattering knees
Exactly.
from the fall damage. So no,
Make a death save.
I rolled crap
Dude.
damage on this.
Bowser drop him like you can in Smash.
Here, make a death save.
Oh, right. Sorry.
Alex, you're up. You're face 1-to-1 on this orc that no one knows about.
12.
Yep.
So that's a pass.
Yep. Okay, so we're gonna I can't really escape him right now. So yeah, we're just having to duel this orc, I suppose. We're gonna try to attack him with oh fuck. Well, my first attack is going to miss with a 7,
Whoosh, he dodges. He actually parries your blow.
and then I'll try with my bonus action melee attack. That one might hit. That's a 24.
That'll hit.
He's gonna take a whole whopping 5 points of bludgeoning damage from the punch.
All right, you get him in the gut. He gets the wind knocked out of him. Anything else?
No, that's about it.
All right, it is the orc's turn. The orc in front of you will retaliate. He's going to take out his great axe and he's going to swing mightily at you. It's going to be a 13 to hit. That misses.
That misses, as I'm just sort of like taking very small movements and just barely dodging the blows.
If nothing else, he is going to just get his face in your face, like he's going to just breathe your airspace. Essentially, he's getting really close to you and trying to intimidate you at that point. The one on top of the hill with you, Bolg, he's going to shove you now.
It's a
So
shove
make
party.
a contest against him.
The conga line of shoving.
Not 20, bitches.
Okay, he gets actually a natural 1 if anyone cares.
Oh, man.
He misses.
He gently
Okay.
caresses your chest.
Yep.
You are
So
both
he-
homoerotically uncomfortable.
And immediately he gets.
Well, either that or he fell off and landed on his buddy.
You mean Kieran?
I'm sorry.
You mean he fell off and landed on Kieran, right? Because Kieran's
No.
closer.
No, he landed on his buddy. Because he got it.
The one that's fighting against the giant foot. What's he gonna do?
This is not something you thought you were
think
gonna
he
have to do
can-
today.
You're
You can
welcome.
try.
Me, mighty orc, how
He
to
can
combat
make an
giant foot.
investigation check. He can try to make an investigation check to see if this is, actually real.
Yeah, but would an orc do that, or would it just attack the foot? Because it's an orc.
You know what he's gonna do? He's gonna run away. He's gonna run away, towards the plains, but sees that Alex is fighting his orc brethren and will chuck a javelin at Alex instead.
Oh, good.
Alex, you are hit with a 22.
Yep.
9 points of piercing damage.
Joy.
And he's going to run as fast as he can, aggressively charging and then using as much movement to get away from the foot as possible. So Mirabelle, you are kind of okay and in the clear. The one that's been pushed off is still alive. He's going to get up and he's going to swing towards you. Mirabelle, you flying?
No, I'm landed next to Kieran.
All right, you're going to get hit then.
I would like to be if there's room.
You want to fly?
Well, it's either
All right,
land and
okay.
get hit or fly and get hit and get knocked out of the sky and take a shitload of fall damage.
So you want
I
to
don't
fly?
know. Shall we let the dice decide, boys?
No, just say it. If you want to fly, you can fly, and if you don't want, if you want to land beside Kieran, if that's your intent, then whatever
I
you called
was
last round.
intending to land beside Kieran, just
Okay.
to get up to Kieran.
All right. If you want to do that, you will take the hit then. The orc will attack you with his great axe, and it's going to be a 23.
Yep.
And you're going to take
It
9
doesn't
points.
matter. I'm down.
All right, you're down. 9 points of slashing damage. As you go to the ground, your hex goes away, and Kieran and Mirabelle lie next to each other. At that point,
Throwing the orc off the cliff was a terrible idea.
Mirabelle, make a death saving throw, and Bolg, you're up.
God damn it. Bolg is just going to go ahead, let the grip on his hammer loose, and he's going to chill balls the Great Axe orc.
In front of you?
Is he in front of me? I thought...
No, he did not fall off.
Oh, he did not fall off, you said. Okay, so no, there's still one in front of me then.
Mhm.
Then no, I will go ahead and I'm just going to go ahead and whack him with the maul.
Okay, Mirabelle, what is your save?
It's a failure.
Okay.
Modify 20.
Modified 20 hits.
All right, let's get some good damage on this. We need some good news today. This is not the time for a TPK.
I mean, you say that now.
I mean, I will say that now.
That's not up to you to decide.
10 points of damage.
10 oh my god, okay. You smash him so hard that he looks like he's got the wind knocked out of him, and he is well bloodied. But still alive.
All right, then. All right. Unfortunately, that's all I can... Oh. Damn it, I should have had her... I forgot to have her do that. Shit. Oh, well.
You want to re-roll to see if you crit on this, because you did distract this one.
Yeah, I will re-roll. No, close, but no cigar.
Okay.
But yeah, so I will just have her do that again, and we'll just keep going with this.
All right, on the same one. Okay. Kieran, you need to make a death save again.
Yup.
Alex, you're up, still 1-to-1 on this orc in front of you. You punched him in the gut, but he
Fail.
seems to be more aggressive than ever.
I'm I can't outrun it, so I'm just gonna have to keep attacking it.
Sure.
23 to hit.
Yep, hits. Hits strong and hard.
As I do this attack, I'm gonna drop the crossbow and just broom it, and we're gonna deal. See, it's in +3, so 9 points of bludgeoning damage, and then as a bonus action, I will kick it.
And after you do so, roll percentile, please.
56, 78, 19. Will 19 hit?
19 will hit as well.
Come on. Oh, hey, that's good. 7 points of bludgeoning damage.
How do you kill it?
Do you want me to roll the percentile first?
No, afterwards, fine.
Okay. Let's see. So. Okay. So, I don't know if Bulg can see this because this is.
You are on the opposite side.
Okay, good. Because this kill. This might be a bit out of character, but everyone's unconscious. Nobody can see anyways. So we're just gonna. She kind of like. How do I do this? So we're gonna. She kind of like catches it in the temple with the broom, and it sort of stumbles to the side and falls down. And as it's on the ground, like despite the fact that it is down, like it is down, and it might surrender or whatever, but it is down. She's just gonna like come around to the front of it and just like crush its windpipe.
Absolutely.
In
Percentile, please.
Percentile. Yes, sir.
Yeah, it is. Its throat is just completely destroyed.
Let's see. That is a 30.
Okay. All right. Thank you. At that point, that was Alex. Alex, you want to move?
Yes, I'm going to. See, Mirabelle moved. I guess I'll keep going around because I need to get to the bottom of this thing, which is still going to take me like another half turn after this.
Oh, you want to keep going to the bottom? Okay.
Yeah, because
we're
still
on the a middle tier right now. We're not at the bottom.
Wait, there's tiers of this thing.
So it goes around like 2 and 3 times.
Yeah, I thought you guys were at the bottom by the well, or no, the bell's at the top. Fuck. I thought you were at the bottom because Kieran fell all the way down.
You're closer to the bottom. You're pretty much to the bottom.
Okay.
I'm just trying to go to where Kieran went.
Yeah, so with that, you kind of make one more revolution around. You can see Kieran. He's about like 15 feet away from you, but you're not on him yet.
Okay.
At that point, that was Alex's turn. The orcs go. Whoa. Oh, right. He sees you, Alex, come up behind him, and he's going to go after you.
Oh, good.
He runs up to you and attacks you, but only hits with like a 12. So that misses. Bolg, you are going to get shoved off another time.
How many times do I have to tell you? No means no, damn it.
How many times we got to teach you this lesson, old man?
Alright. 17.
Alright, you are not shoved. The one that was scared off by the foot is going to see Alex. You guys are kind of just running parallel to each other. He's going to try to chuck one last javelin, the last javelin he has on his back towards you, Alex. And misses. And it just glides off above your head and hits the rock and bounces off. At that point.
Oh, god damn it. I should have tried to catch the javelin earlier that he threw. I forgot I can do that.
Didn't it miss you, though?
No,
no,
one of them hit me. I thought.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah, I should have tried to catch it, but I forgot.
You're right. Mirabelle, make a death save.
Reason everything's happening.
And Bolg, you're up.
Alright.
You still have advantage on the one you.
Yeah, let's finish him off. Alright. Hits with a 15.
Yep.
Alright, roll damage.
Make sure.
Oh wait, I forgot to roll with advantage.
Yes, indeed.
Okay, yeah, that no crit, but it will still hit. And then re-roll that. Alright, that's better. 11 points of bludgeoning damage. That should end him.
That ends him. His body falls lifelessly right in front of you, Alex. Mirabelle?
I'm gonna go ahead and... where's the next closest orc from where I am at?
All the way to the bottom, right underneath of you.
Alright, I will...
30 below.
My hawk has a movement speed flight speed of 60. Would that be enough to fly down and distract the orc Alex is dealing with?
Absolutely.
Yes, I will have Rasheen do that then.
Okay, Rasheen flies.
And I will go ahead and start running down around the mountain as well.
Mirabelle looking good? Not so good?
Half and half.
Half and half? Okay, excellent. Bulk's turn. Kieran, make a death save. You have an orc right in front of you wielding a great axe, and he's going to bring you to bits if you don't do something.
I just succeed on that death saving throw.
Wait, what? Whose turn is it?
Yours.
Oh, sorry, I must have missed part of that when Isaac was talking.
Sorry.
Okay, so the orc is up in my face now?
Yep.
Okay.
He missed the first swing at you. You have advantage because Rasheen
Right.
is menacing it.
If ever there was a time for Tamora to give me a nat 20, it would be right the hell now. So yeah, we're gonna broom this guy and hope. Come on, give me something. Not a nat 20, but it'll probably hit. Is that 18?
Yeah, that'll hit.
Okay, he's gonna take. Let's see. Oh, 3. Okay, so 11 points of bludgeoning damage.
You kill him.
Yes!
Oh, this shit.
You remembered you have advantage on that, right?
That
right,
was with
Matt? advantage.
Without the advantage,
Okay.
that would have missed.
Oh, thank God we got that right.
Yeah, that would have missed. Okay, so the only orc still mobile is the one running around in the plains because there's a smelly foot.
That foot has probably evaporated by now.
Oh yeah, but he was running. I don't know if he's coming back yet, but he's running.
He's running around, yes. And luckily, though, you know that he's thrown his last javelin.
Did that javelin land anywhere near me?
Let me find out.
If it didn't, Belle still has one in her.
I mean, I'm gonna have to remove that anyways, but
Okay, so it did not. It actually hit. It clattered against the side of the rock wall, and it just fell off and rolled off the ledge.
okay, that's fine. All right, I'm just gonna get up next to my unconscious brethren, and next turn I will try to stabilize people.
Okay, at that point, that was Alex. It's the orc's turn. He's just gonna take a rock and sling a rock at you, Alex.
Oh, good.
Catch it.
Gotta
13 again, which misses.
Yeah, it's gotta hit for me to try to catch it.
And he'll just run away off into the plains if as fast as he can.
Yep.
At that point, that was Alex, Orc, Mirabelle. Make one last death save.
Pass.
Bulk, what do you do?
How much feet do I have to move before I can see the retreating half orc again?
The retreating half orc is. You can probably just stand at where you are. You can probably see him, but he's like 80 feet away from you.
Chilling touch has a range of 120.
All right, make your attack roll.
Blue balls for you.
21.
Hit.
All right then, let's throw some blue ball damage. That is 4 points of blue ball damage.
4 points of blue balls damage, and all you can hear the orc say is, "The jewels of Gamush." And he runs.
Be original with your names next time.
With that, Karen, you need to make a save.
Yep.
Alex, you can go if you want to do anything.
I'm gonna try to stabilize after this death save.
Fail.
Okay.
All right, so
So you're 2
and
for
2.
2. Yeah.
2 and
okay.
2.
I'm gonna stabilize Kieran first, I guess, because he's been
Yes.
unconscious longer. That seems like a triage thing to do.
Yep. And you have a medicine kit, right?
Yes.
Okay, that automatically stabilizes, expending 1 use. The orc's turn will
How
continue
many
to
uses
run
do they have?
10.
Okay. I need to
Mirabelle,
write it down.
make 1 more save.
Pass.
Bulg,
I am actually stabilized now. That was 3 successes.
okay, the Bulg, you have 1 last shot as you see the orc is about 110 feet away, just out of your line of sight. So you can make 1 last chance to shoot this orc down.
I do so, but I only get an 8.
8 points or 8 points, 8 points of
No,
damage or 8 points to hit?
That's 8 to hit. Yeah.
Okay, so you
I
just
missed.
miss him as he disappears beyond one of the cresting hills in the distance.
And then I'm gonna just move down to go ahead and meet up with the rest of the party.
Yeah, at that point you guys are out of initiative, so you can stabilize Mirabelle, Alex.
Well, she's already.
The
stable.
orc-
She's already stable.
Oh yeah, she is?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay,
it
you got
was
3
3
successes.
successes.
All right. So essentially, the orc has ran off to the south. Is the last direction you've seen him vanish, Bolg.
I need to try to stop the ox from running.
Go after the ox. God. Fingers crossed I'll be okay.
Okay.
Or did
I
you
mean,
stabilize me already?
you're stabilized.
Oh, okay. I wasn't sure.
Make a perception check to find the ox.
21.
You see it not visually. You don't see it anywhere visually. But what you do notice is when you come down to the very bottom of the hill, you see footprints, but they lead off through the tall grass of the plains.
Damn it. It has like everything we own. We really gotta catch that. I guess I'll go try to catch it.
Okay. It seems to have veered off into a southern direction. Make a survival check,
Oh,
because this
God.
is difficult.
Survival check.
There's not much to go on. You know that it went off in a certain direction,
That's actually
and you
not
have a
that
few
bad.
footprints.
21.
Okay. How far
It's
do you want to
dripping
go, though?
blood.
I mean, I guess as far as I have to go, like, we've got to catch this thing. It's not even ours.
All right. So when you continue to walk off, I'll let you do that. The rest of you, Bolg, you come down to the incapacitated bodies of Kieran and Mirabelle.
I'm just gonna go ahead and prop them up and just keep a watch on them until we can resuscitate them naturally.
Don't forget the necromancer tied up upstairs.
Oh shit, yeah, I probably should go take care of that. Like,
Looks
Bold
back.
immediately remembers, like, oh shit, yeah, so he's gonna...
Are you
Go
gonna
run
carry
back
us
up.
upstairs?
He can probably carry one of you upstairs before getting encumbered. So...
Looks up at the mountain, sighs.
Yes. So it's like, who do I pick? Who do I pick? He's gonna leave his backpack down with Kieran, and he's gonna drag Mirabelle up with him.
Cause we love her.
I just hope I can find the ox without getting orked.
Okay. So
Or
you
should not be
carry.
used as a verb that way, Matt.
So you carry. You
Orked
carry.
is a verb.
Orked. You carry Kieran, or you leave Kieran and just kind of prop him up on your bag. You take Mirabelle up, and when you get to the very top, which takes you about like a few moments of huffing and puffing to hike this trail, you see that there's the tent that which Hammond Cost has set up. The flaps have closed, which was previously open, enough allowing Kieran to kind of just look into the tent to see the body of or the remains of Lady Faye. At this point, the flaps are kind of down, and they're just kind of billowing in the wind. You see no sign of Hammond Cost outside. However, you see his binds though. His binds are on the ground.
God damn it!
Can you grab those though? Rope is kind of expensive.
You're dead. You can't say that.
I know, but
But Bolg is just going to take one hammer to the tent and swing at anything that's inside.
Do you want to go in while swinging or swing at the tent?
Swing at the tent, yes.
All right. You swing at the main support beam collapses, and the tent kind of just pops down, and you can see that there's outlines of furniture within the insides of the tent, so it's not completely empty.
Right, but
It's
there
it's
is
more
no
like a pavilion.
but there's no person.
There's no human-sized person. No.
Right. Yeah, Bolg is just going to go ahead and grab the bindings and just shake his head before going ahead and lugging Mirabelle back down the stairs to where Kieran is.
Okay.
Why did I even do this?
So, Alex, you kind of just follow the trail. You see that there is a blood trail of sorts, and the footprints essentially disappear completely because the grass is far too tall to see, and you're not a well-versed tracker. You're not a one that has lived in the woods and the plains and the land around you. But what you can figure out essentially is that the trail seems to head southward, this bloody trail, and you walk about 500 feet before realizing that it's pretty far.
God damn it. That we lost everything. Literally everything.
I'm surprised it could make it that far when it was only moving at 15 feet around earlier.
Yeah, well, it's gone now. We lost literally everything. everything.
Uh,
Okay, I guess I'll head back to the party because I can't recover it.
So you still see the trail in front of you. You can keep going if you want to, but it's far. Like it's kind of out of what you feel comfortable leaving with alone, at least.
Yeah, I'll have to go back to the party.
All right. So when you return, what do you guys do? Oh, by the way,
revive Kieran and Mirabelle first.
how do you do so?
Um,
I don't
take some of Kieran's rations out for him and just like waft it under his nose until he starts coming to, like smelling salts.
Oh, good. I was afraid you were gonna say it's like I smack him and it's like immediately goes into dust saving throws again.
No, I'm a bit smarter than that. Come on, I'm the
But
highest
his
intellect.
bulk.
I'm the highest intellect character in the party. Damn it, give me some credit.
I don't know. Mirabelle give you a run for your money.
It's a low bar. Actually, Mirabelle has higher int than Bolg.
Really?
Yep.
Hmm,
I have
how about
16 in.
Yeah, I can see
Oh,
your
okay.
stats on the screen.
that? For now.
For now.
Yeah.
She's college educated. God.
Anyway,
Anyways, I returned to the party. I couldn't find the ox. It's gone.
well, that's not the only thing that's gone. The necromancer managed to bolt during the chaos.
Well, we escaped with our lives. That's something.
Something. Come on, help me get Mirabelle up. You have any water we can splash in her face?
I do, I think. Do I have my water skin? Yeah, I do have my water skin on me still.
You also know that you have a well that you can use.
That is true, but we're not standing next to the well.
Yes, and we're not doing that shit again.
Yep.
And there's like mysterious skanky well water in there.
Yeah, with probably a desiccated human arm or some shit like that at the bottom, which is why he was filling it up.
So just an idea, but maybe we should take that with us. Necromancer doesn't get what he wants if he can't have
We
the
should
last
just set
of
the
his-
whole
of
thing
his
on
body.
fire.
We have his book. He can't do the rest without his journal.
Are we sure about that?
I mean,
Just burn all of it.
he's
It's
fair
probably near Kieran, where Kieran went unconscious because Belle had the book. The journal, if he really needed the journal itself. We don't have a spell book though. Well, I don't have a spell book. Someone else had that.
Yeah, I mean, I had that, so...
Either way, he's without his supplies, so there you go.
Okay.
Well, still, if we really want to, we can burn like all of his stuff up there and be done with it.
Well, use whatever livable stuff he has. He has some furniture, he has some supplies, so we can scavenge whatever he has, and then, use the rest, and then burn the rest.
So, would you guys like to? Well, to those of you that are conscious, would you guys like to go back up and set up camp at the top?
I'm not sure I really want to set up camp here. The orcs know that we're here, and one of them escaped.
Mm-hmm. Well, one thing's for sure is that this makes a great outpost. Like you can see in all distances.
We really need to get Mirabelle and Kieran awake first before we can start doing anything else. It's not like you and I can actually drag them everywhere right now, especially in this state without the cart.
Yes, and Bolg, everything we had was on that ox.
I know, Alex, I know. But we can't worry about that now while our allies are still out like this. Let's focus on getting them first, and then we can see about tracking the ox down. If it's injured, it shouldn't have wandered too far off, and I can track it in the morning.
This is really gonna put a strain on our food supply. Okay.
So I'm gonna carry Kieran up the hill this time.
How do you carry Kieran?
I might be able to carry Kieran.
I'm holding Kieran's backpack, and I basically have him I have him strapped to the top of my backpack like he's a bedroll.
I feel like Alex could carry me. I'm only 45 pounds.
You could carry Kieran. You couldn't carry Kieran and his backpack.
Yeah, I could.
Okay, that is true.
I could carry Kieran. I can't carry Kieran in the backpack. That is correct.
All right.
So like,
you carry.
so we can make another trip for the backpack if we have to move Mirabelle.
Yeah, I'll move Mirabelle. You move Kieran, and then we'll come back for their bags.
Okay.
But I just want to point out that it is a notable struggle to carry Kieran.
How do you carry Kieran? Like piggyback or?
It's important to him.
It is important to me.
I mean, I'm wearing a backpack. I don't think I could like piggyback you like.
You do backpack back saddle
like
and then
Bjorn.
front saddle.
Use Kieran's backpack, or put Kieran in the backpack like a baby Bjorn.
I'm more imagining that she's got him under his arms and is just kind of dragging his feet across the ground and dragging him up.
Probably
Gotta go uphill too.
that's probably because like I can just barely do this.
Make an athletics check.
Like based on my strength, I can do this just barely athletics. Let's see. 1. Not a natural 1, just a 1.
You won't notice Kieran, but when you wake up, you're gonna have like a few bonks on your head.
Thanks.
I'm trying.
But as Alex is carrying Kieran, she just hears him mumble in his sleep, like, "No, no, no, Brandon, don't pee on me, no."
She's just mouthing.
Hey,
Okay.
Bolga's gonna be like, "Hey, at least he didn't try to summon a caricature of your foot to defeat your enemies."
I mean, at this point, if it works.
I mean, I won't lie, it was damn effective.
I was gonna say, it's like, excuse me, Belle and I did work. Like, you wanna fight?
Hey, I managed to kill 2 orcs while the entire time being at 1 HP. So
I assisted you
Yes, you
in
did.
killing those orcs, and I also killed one of my own.
yes, indeed.
So there you go.
While at 1 HP.
Not
So
1 HP, but
those of you
yes.
that are conscious, you bring Kieran and Mirabelle to the top of the hill. Do you guys want to set up camp?
I have to make
or do
I
anything?
have to make another trip to bring Kieran's backpack up here.
whatever little things we have, yes.
Okay. So set up camp. You actually do have the pavilion of Hammond Cost. You did destroy the support beam, but it will, like, if you can find a way to like bring it back, like have or like reinvent the shelter,
Wake
you
up
can
Belle
definitely
from
have
Nadine.
something to keep you out of the elements.
Now it's a lean-to.
We can use the broom.
If you break the other pillar, now it's a lean-to. I mean, you could try to prop it back up.
I mean,
Mhm.
I would prop it back up, and then like
Use the broom as support.
I was gonna say we could tie it together with rope for support.
The broom, the only thing that's keeping this party standing.
Pretty much.
Actually, I have a trident we could use. The trident would probably be better.
Or we could use one of their javelins, or multiple of
Or-
their javelins.
Yeah, we'll gather the javelins up, wrap it around the beam, and then use the rope to tie it all together.
Okay.
And in the event of more orcs, it's an improvised weapon.
Yes.
So I assume the two of you want to take a short rest at the very least.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
Okay.
Okay.
So the both of you can spend hit dice, and I think
Yeah.
this is a good place to take our break. And
Oh, fuck.
just by the way, Kieran and Mirabelle, you are both unconscious, so you will not be gaining this short rest.
God
Damn it!
I rolled a fucking 1 on my hit die. Goddamn. And I rolled 2 1s. Are you kidding me?
I rolled a 1 on my first hit die too, Matt. It's not your fault.
2. Let's see. Wait, that'd be 3.
And if I was awake, I could have used Song of Rest to help us, but
6.
Well, it is what it is.
God,
Oh, come
I
on,
gained
really?
absolute ass on that short rest. That was worthless.
That is nonsense on that gain. And Jesus,
All
We're all
right.
gonna
Anyways,
die.
break time.
I just spent all my hit die for that.
I'm gonna transition to. So did I. All right. Actually, wait a minute. I have 1 more hit die. What am I talking about?
Yeah, you got 3 hit dice,
I'm level
guys.
3 now.
I know. I used hit dice. I still got ass on that.
So
Yeah, it happens. Can't do
I
anything.
barely came out of it.
anyways, break time. I will transition us to break.
Yep.
All right.
still laggy?
No, not right now. I think you're good.
It comes and goes, but
it
it's
pleases.
probably going to fuck you as soon as it gets the chance.
Yeah.
Or I have to say something important.
Yeah, exactly. That's
Well,
what
you're
it does.
unconscious right now, so it's fine.
I like this. This should happen more often.
Maybe I can sleep talk.
What, that it's quiet?
You can't stop me, bitch.
Okay. So essentially, when you guys have chosen to take a short rest, and using Hammond Koss pavilion as an improvised shelter after having destroyed it, you see that in his dwelling, essentially, you find that there is a nice cot, a chair, and a writing desk with supplies and a chest. But you haven't explored those things yet.
I'm probably just gonna keep watch outside for now, because, bad things
Yeah.
keep happening.
Would you like to just stand outside the tent, or would you like to patrol around the perimeter of the hill?
Bogle will patrol the perimeter.
Okay, so you guys want to both be outside.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Let Maribel and Kieran rest inside the pavilion.
All right.
Are we cuddled up together?
There's no other way to do it.
God.
At that point, how long do you guys want to wait while you patrol and stuff?
Well, until our party regains consciousness.
Okay. I want you guys to both make perception checks while you're on your patrol, and sort of like the hours kind of just creep by and come upon you. The sun just starts to set in the distance, and there's like this really nice scene of just like this orange sun cascading on this golden plain, which you guys stand.
21.
21 and 8. All right. So let me just make sure about this. From towards the far south, essentially, and this does not become apparent until the later hours where the sun is just waning down and disappearing, there seems to be some sort of campfire or some sort of fire, some sort of illumination to the far south. You gauge maybe about 5 miles. It's fairly easy to see in the open plains, the rolling hills and stuff, because there's not much foliage aside from grass and small shrubbery. But to the far south, there seems to be like a stern cliff wall or some sort of a base, the foothills of a mountain, and there seems to be fire coming from the south.
Well, maybe that's where they came from.
Indeed.
It kind of, in the worst case scenario, it does dawn upon you that if they found the ox, they might be roasting it right now.
Yes, well, I can't really do anything about that right now.
Protecting our comrades' livelihoods is more important at this point.
Or, the ox could have just, bled to death somewhere.
Fucking better. Pussy ass bitch.
It was clearly not a Skyrim horse, or it would have charged right into battle.
Right.
It takes about 3 hours for Kieran to regain consciousness, and 4 for Mirabelle. So it becomes well into the nighttime, and the sun has set, and evening is upon you guys.
Kieran wakes up before Bell, but then goes back to sleep. And can I take that extra hour as a short rest? Or unless we're gonna go to a long rest.
I
Can
mean,
you?
It's nighttime. I don't think we're going anywhere right now.
Cool, okay.
So go ahead and take the short rest.
You might need it for, taking watch.
That's it's up to you if you want to even take that short rest.
I'll take a few. Yeah, might as well. And you know what? I'll go ahead and use my Song of Rest while I'm at it. So
Yeah, while you're on yourself.
Yeah, that's another D6.
Playing like a sad melody.
I imagine where he's humming to himself.
Reindeers are better than people. Alright, let me roll some hit die out.
So when the evening sets in, one thing's for sure: when you're this high up on like a field, with nothing much more than a few hills, it is cold. There is a strong draft, and the tent just definitely serves good protection from this. And this is what Hammond Cust must have been doing when he wasn't bailing water out of an old well. You guys notice that there is a body within the tent. And I don't know why, but I can't imagine just that Kieran and Belle were just like laid out beside the body.
I mean, we probably threw it outside.
Okay, you don't want to just throw it outside like anywhere in particular, or?
Well, I mean, it's probably a good idea to get rid of it. I don't know if we should, like, just burn it. That's the real question, is if they wanted to get rid of this witch's body, why did they chop it to pieces and not just burn it? Can you not burn witches in this universe?
Apparently not.
Okay. So yeah, we probably want to get rid of these, because if we can't actually stop the necromancer because he got loose, we can at least prevent him from achieving his goal.
Right.
By destroying part of his goal. So we might want to try, and while you're patrolling, try to find enough stuff to get, like, a fire going. Though I can't light the fire because I don't have a tinderbox anymore, because it was on the ox.
I can. So I can light a fire as soon as we gather enough, like, driftwood, or we start breaking up the desk.
Use the body as kindling.
If it concerns you, this is a really nice writing desk.
We also have that bucket.
And
the bucket isn't going to provide much, Alex.
Yeah, but it's another thing he wouldn't have if he came back.
So
True.
when you kind of just look around the tent, he did have Koss did have some supplies.
Anything I can use for firewood.
He has tinderbox.
I have a tinderbox, so...
I would like to just look around in general to see what he had.
He has a small hatchet. It's not a fighting axe, but it's a small hatchet for cutting up kindling and wood and stuff.
Okay,
He has like a couple of days worth of rations. And he also has water skin, like some ink and quills, a sort of like just a journal of drawing things. When you kind of just flip through it, it looks like it's mostly just images of like trees, flowers, and just stuff he's probably seen wandering through the lands. He has a blanket, a lantern, not a bullseye lantern, but a regular oil lit lantern, which you guys could use and serve you for lighting purposes. But other than that, not too much. Well, you're up, Kieran, right?
Mm-hmm.
So do you want to actually look through his pavilion?
I would. I'm a nosy little fucker.
As halflings tend to be. When you look around, there's a lovely cot. One that you have kind of not been, like, you haven't been sleeping in a bed for the past couple of days. You've been sleeping in the woods, in the open lands, in a sleeping bag and whatnot. You find that there is a chest, and the chest is open. It seems like it's cracked open. Not sure if it was left like this or someone has taken something out of it. But one thing is for sure is that this chest is filled with clothes.
What kind of clothes?
These are human clothes. They seem to be just regular garments.
Why would he be
nothing
carrying
fancy.
halfling clothes?
Human male clothes, right?
Yeah. And then you see that there's this one nice purple dress, and you think that's what she was gonna wear.
Kieran uses the dress as a blanket.
Despite the fact that there is a blanket in there.
Disrespect his shit.
It's like a very nice silk dress.
Can it be velvet? Velvet is warmer, heavier for the winter months.
No.
Okay.
No. That's funny. No, I crush your dreams.
Kieran uses the dress to cocoon himself up on the cot.
Okay.
Alex is still outside, so...
Make an investigation check, Kieran.
I'll find like a finger in there. 15.
Sort of like looking at the clothes, there seems to be an indentation in sort of like everything is neatly packed. Like it's folded, it's nice. There seems to be imprint when you kind of pull out the dress and then just notice like there's a compartment that's kind of just like a shape. It seems like there was a chest or some sort of object that was left inside the clothes, kind of just made this imprint in the clothing that probably Cost had retrieved before he escaped, which means that there was something that was important to him that he took with him.
That was inside the dress.
No, not inside the dress per se, but inside the chest where the clothes are. You know, when you leave something hard in clothing, it kind of leaves that ironed shape.
Yeah.
Yeah. So that seems to be something that was retrieved, and probably a good reason why the chest was flung open. But at that point, Mirabelle, you wake, and you see Kieran just dancing around with a dress, kind of just getting cozy and tucked in.
Is there a mirror in this little tent at all?
There isn't, but you know how good you look.
Okay, I was gonna say, because it's like Kieran is just like holding the dress in front of him, swinging around like.
You cast minor illusion, and you have like a mirror in your hand.
La la la, la la la.
Kieran, I didn't know you looked so good in purple.
I didn't know either, right? Normally I can't afford this sort of dye, but oh, right, you're awake. How are you?
There are lots of things that still hurt.
Oh, I know. This economy, right?
When the DM just silently is just like.
He's not wrong.
Lightning strikes the DM. Oh. All right. So what did we find anything outside? We were trying to make a fire.
Outside, you guys, there's like a few shrubs growing in and around the broken down remains of the watchtower at the base of it. You find small bits of kindling, probably just enough for one fire, but you'll have to go like scattering through the bushes and going full don't starve to look for sticks and twigs.
Yeah.
But if they're together, it's don't starve together.
Exactly. Together. Gotta look for that bison, you know? Or, well, it's not bison, but it would be bison in this game. The beefalo.
Beefalo.
All right, so we're gonna get that going. I don't know, do we want to burn this corpse? Like, it's gonna be gross, but at the same time, it needs to go away.
Okay, is this
despite burning? It doesn't matter if it's gross or not.
I have a question. Is this like a mummified sort of corpse, or is this just a skeleton at this point?
You see that the corpse is actually strangely well preserved. The skin is all gray, but it's not like completely mummified. It's partially mummified.
Do I know, drawing on my knowledge from books and study, the best way to try and dispose of this to make sure it's destroyed?
Burning it is definitely one way to do it, but make an Arcana check.
Everyone knows that's how you dispose of witches. You burn them.
Nope, I currently have brain damage. So the total.
You currently have brain damage?
Yes. So together, that's going to be a 5.
A 5.
As I just sort of watch Kieran's dress go brushing over the corpse and I'm completely distracted.
You think that burning it is probably the best thing to do, but the one problem is at least from what you understand, is to completely get rid of it, you're going to need to find a torso as well. Like, that's just the probably the most permanent solution. Burning the head and the legs does not count for 100% of the body.
Well, yeah, but okay, so because Alex isn't even in the room, but her thought was pretty much that he had these pieces. He was trying to get the other piece. Clearly, he needs all the pieces to make it work, or so he thinks. So if we get rid of 2 of the 3, what can he do? This seemed like a pretty reasonable assumption.
And with that spectacular failure of Arcana check, I don't think I currently know if that's actually the case or not.
Well, Alex doesn't either, so... And Alex is sitting outside right now. Wait, watching for orcs.
Is there anything else that I could use in here?
I would like to be nosy and see what's on the desk, what sort of papers there are.
Everything is on the desk seems to have been cleared off. Taken.
Is there
essentially.
anything inside the desk? Does it have drawers, or is it just like a table?
It is a writing desk. It has that one single drawer, but it does not seem to have any contents in it. Just a blank pieces of vellum, and maybe like 2 bottles of spare ink, but nothing that seems to have been left behind. Alex, oh, gone. So, I assume that the fire has been lit, Bolg.
Yes.
What are you doing at this time?
Volg is just wandering around, contemplating, looking at the fire, and just constantly wondering to himself.
Okay. Why don't you make a perception check?
Mm-hmm.
I assume you're gonna be like watching around your surroundings too, and trying not to be too.
16.
16. Okay. So in the distance to the south, you see a large like what looks like a campfire or some sort of structure against the foothills of a mountain.
Mm-hmm.
But there seems to be a smaller source of fire, probably like a lantern or a torch or something, and it seems to be blinking.
Mm-hmm. Is it a signal sign that I would be familiar with?
Make a actually you probably wouldn't need to. Seems to be like a signal, and you think it's directed towards you.
Mm-hmm.
And kind of just from the blinking, you kind of interpret the signal being, "I see you."
That's not creepy at all.
No, it's not.
The call is coming from inside the forest.
But Volg goes ahead and lets Alex know of the visitor or the watcher that is using light signals.
So they're probably coming for us.
Well, assuming that they haven't found, assuming that it's them.
Yes,
Most likely it is, but
who else
still,
would be this far out?
you're right.
At least they had the courtesy to warn us.
It's not a warning. Orcs don't warn anyone. It's intimidation.
Like the call is coming from inside the forest.
And rest assured, they will come for us.
No, this is not going to be fun.
When the two of you see the signal, make an insight check.
Insight check.
Thank you. 18.
Let's see, my
Mhm.
insight. I got a nat 1. I'm distracted.
You are intimidated by this. You feel the need to leave. This is a bad sign. Bolg, on the other hand, the signal continues to flash several more times. And then followed by another light source, another what looks like torch.
Mm-hmm.
And they're blinking simultaneously, sort of in the same rhythm pattern. It's a gesture to come Come and meet. Come and speak. Parlay.
It's a tarp.
I do not like this at all.
Alex just sort of sitting at the outside outside of the pavilion.
This makes no sense.
Orcs don't parlay. It must be a trap.
No. Their particular form of parlay usually involves luring them into a peace offering, but usually when they do that, they usually send a goblin or some kind of human slave to go ahead and relay that. They're using lanterns, which is, even in my time, it isn't something they do. Whoever's leading the orcs knows what they're doing.
Yes, well, I don't like it.
Well, our options are sit here and get blown away by their horde, or to go meet them.
Do you think they'll have ham and peanut butter?
I don't know about the peanut butter, Mirabelle, but the ham might be an unfortunate reunion. If I had any suspicions.
And the next servant of ham might be us.
I am so confused. I just let the cat in and the cat is back outside. What the fuck?
I think it might be more like beef Wellington.
But where do they get the ingredients for that?
If you both are so curious, we can go ahead and pick up. We can go ahead and go meet them.
Why don't we just go back to town? We lost all our supplies. There's not much we can do here.
They'd probably track us down anyway. The very least, we'd be going in on our own terms.
Yes, but we're going onto their turf.
I mean, I'm a fan of not dying in general.
Kieran, when dealing with orcs, dying is the best case scenario.
I find that difficult to believe coming from you, considering I'm the orc specialist around here.
You're not the only one who's dealt with orcs.
And Bull gestures to his face like, believe me, Alex, I have intimate knowledge of how orcs work. Up close and intimate.
Look, now isn't the time to fight. We just got our asses handed to us. We lost all of our supplies. You can fight when we're not about to die.
She just kind of gestures at herself and says, I don't know if you've noticed, but they would probably just kill you. They wouldn't kill me. They'd keep me for other things, and I'd rather not have that happen.
If it's this group of orcs that I'm thinking that we're dealing with, they won't be killing me. Anyway.
I'm not saying we parlay with orcs. I'm just saying we need ideas.
Well, unless you have a better alternative, we'll be negotiating with them either on their turf or when they come down and track us. If you do have a miracle idea, now would be the time to do it.
Surely they don't expect us to trek into their territory in the dark.
And Bella and I both need some time to rest. You two might be able to go on as long as you want, but the two of us, we have a lot of trouble keeping up without some regular rest.
You never split up the party. Bull takes out 2 torches from his pack and goes ahead and lights them for the purposes of signaling that they will agree to meet.
Okay. They blink once, acknowledging.
Alright. Both of you rest, and then we'll get moving as soon as we can.
What makes you think that these orcs won't hurt us? Or at the very least won't brutalize us excessively?
Is this land is very familiar to me again. Took me a while to realize it, but This is about the right area.
Right area for what?
Where I grew up.
Ah, bloody hell. Time to meet the family?
I would use that word very loosely. I don't have much of a family aside from my dad. He goes it's very very viciously.
What was your mother like?
Didn't know. She died giving birth to me.
I'm sorry, Bulk.
Don't be. I was better off without them.
Mirabelle just sort of looks really sad when she hears that, and she's gonna go over and try to give Bolg a hug.
Bulk's pretty surprised by that gesture.
Kieran joins in on the hug.
Bulk rolls his eyes and knows naturally. Of course, this was coming. He turns to Alex like, "Do you want any on this, or are we just gonna go ahead and pack up for the night?"
Alex isn't even looking at you guys. She's treating that javelin wound from earlier.
Do you want me to take a look at that, Alex? You're real handy with that healer's kit, but maybe a little magic might help.
I'll be fine. It's just a flesh wound.
Oh, nonsense. We're about to get some rest, so I'll be good as new tomorrow. Might as well use what I have now.
Assuming we don't get ambushed.
Yes, assuming that.
Listen, it's clear that we all need rest, but between Alex and I, the both of you need more. You and Mirabelle need more rest, Kieran. I'll take over your shift, Kieran, so you don't have to get sand watch tonight.
Are you sure?
You definitely need the rest after what you've been through.
But that won't help us if you're exhausted tomorrow.
I've been on long guard duties before. It won't be trouble.
Okay. But if something happens, you let us know right away.
Of course.
Alex is just gonna continue sitting outside, even when she's not on watch. Even if she just sleeps, sitting against the pavilion. When they do come for us, I'd rather not be in confined quarters.
I agree. Bolg is if he's going to take a nap, he's going to just lean up against the well, propped against his weapon.
Okay. It is going to be a cold and chilly night, and at times the fire has trouble standing up against itself, fighting the wind. Those of you that are sleeping in the shelter find it actually very warm. The thickness of the canvas that holds this thing up, and strange colorations of the canvas itself. It comes in red and white stripes. A very strange choice for necromancer, but nonetheless a tent that will hold itself up. Essentially, you guys all die in your sleep.
That's what I was
No.
expecting.
No. You guys get a long rest. And come sunrise, there is a frost kind of just milling about the top of this hill. But it does not last long as the sun quickly melts it away. And there's just ashes of the fire from the night previous.
Alex is still just sitting there. The only thing really, she had her robe on over the dress earlier, so that's her protection from the element. So she's just still sitting in the same spot with you can still see bits of frost covering the robe where she hasn't really moved.
Yeah, it's like that that enhanced speed like montage where you see the nights, that the stars kind of just move and then the sun comes up, and she has not moved an inch. It's definitely cold. You can see your own breaths for the very early part of the morning. Those of you that are awake early enough to see it.
How many rations were in the tent?
There were 3 days worth of rations.
All right. We want to eat?
Yeah, we
Yeah.
should probably get that done.
All right.
Yep.
Kieran will use those 3 rations as well as one of his own in order to prepare breakfast for everybody.
Okay.
Okay.
Bolt has rations too.
And we no longer have the cooking pot.
Rip headphone users.
You just hear that in the morning, and all the birds in the grass go to.
I just read my grandpa's magic non-stick skillet.
No, the cooking pot. I don't know what you did with the skillet.
Oh, wait, the skillet's still in my inventory. No, we good. Okay. But the cooking pot is still a massive loss to me. That hurts my soul.
Pointless.
I don't know. I think it's canon now that you should have lost the skillet.
Fight me.
He's the GM. He will drop rocks on you.
I will drop rocks.
No,
I know where you live, Jaming. Cross the hall for me.
No, wait, come on now. You know Jaming doesn't drop rocks. Jaming drops orcs.
Yeah,
Really burly orcs.
He knows my weakness.
I was gonna
Okay.
say that has entirely different connotations for Kieran.
You mean for Isaac?
Yeah, y'all
Alright.
don't know what Kieran's into yet.
I mean,
I'm afraid
Bold
to
can
ask.
Bold can take a fucking guess.
No, you can't. I'm not predictable. Shut the fuck up.
Honey glazed orc.
Shut the fuck up. Shut up.
Anyways, so yeah, well, what do we do now?
I'll steal the blanket out of the tent and just sort of keep that around my shoulders for now.
Yeah. Kieran makes breakfast for everybody. I guess we all should sit down and figure out what the hell we want to do.
You guys could return back to town. You've accomplished what you, or at least most of what you did. You might not have killed the necromancer, but necromancer seems to be no longer a threat. And you said you guys would have burned the 2 parts of the body, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. So absolutely, that those are gone. The last piece is in the well, or at least you assume it's in the well. You could fish it out and burn that too, or you can just leave it be because you did what you needed to do essentially.
Yes, but I don't know if we could. I don't think we could outrun the orcs on the road, and we don't
Maybe.
have any of our camping supplies.
Maybe not. You think that you could probably last, if need be, on the road and get back with what you guys have, but the problem is the orcs. Can you outrun the orcs? This is their land, after all. They know it well.
I mean, apparently this is also Bulb's land, so what can he tell us about that?
Been a while, so my memory is a bit fuzzy. And that there's orcs nearby. But then again, everyone knows that.
Oh, what are you good for?
We're dealing with orcs, Kieran. That's all you really need to know.
That's right. Besides, like I said, their tactics have changed. So if they are the same orcs, they're running under new management, which doesn't bode well.
Yes, well, regardless of who's running the show, orcs only really have 2 goals in life.
No, three goals, Alex. But nevertheless, that's semantical. Either way, do we plan on holding our word and meeting with them, or are we just going to go ahead and turn tail?
So what could they possibly... Okay, what do we have to gain from meeting with them? They clearly take issue with us, but I can't really see us gaining anything from it.
Did you forget Did you forget that we're still missing one party of the people that we were supposed to be meeting? I forgot the dwarves' name, but essentially, the dwarves were taken by the bugbears to the orcs. At least that's what I understood. I forgot what the dwarves' name is, but
Gundren.
yeah, Gundren is still missing. So unless we have any new leads on where Gundren went,
Yes, but
So-
is finding Gundren worth marching directly into all of our deaths? Or enslavements? Bit of both.
only you have to worry about enslavement, but that's another story. Point is, do you want to risk it or not?
If we don't keep our promise, will they get angrier and hunt us down more?
Well, more importantly, that bring the danger to the town. Then that's a whole other slew of problems we're dealing with, Alex.
I guess we don't have a choice then.
Alright. Let's go
Just
ahead
to
and get ready.
clarify, the goblins brought Gundren to the bugbears, not the orcs.
Okay.
The orcs have not yet had a play in this besides troubling the miners.
That we know of.
Mm-hmm.
That we know of.
Mm-hmm.
But even then, we still don't have a lead on where the bugbears are, because even after infiltrating where they went, we have no clue where they are.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Not to mention, again, even if they don't have anything useful, if we don't go, we risk retribution upon Phandelver.
Are you guys capable of defending Phandelver?
I mean, we just got our
Phandelver-
asses
Yeah,
handed
but
to
say
us.
we're
So.
barely capable of defending ourselves.
Phandelver is... If you guys make it... You guys know Phandelver can be defensible. You guys have the manor you can see quite a whiles away. And,
And there's a bunch of civilians that they can go pillage and murder.
Not to mention that we have no idea how big their forces are.
But maybe with you guys having restored the town's faith, they'll be capable. Who knows? But either way, what do you guys want to do now? You guys have had your breakfast.
We're still basically on the same boat. Do we go talk to the orcs, or do we go ahead and turn tail?
I think given what we've talked about, talking to the orcs seems to be what we decided on. Even if we're reluctant to do so.
I mean,
I could be making a terrible call. Somebody stop me.
I mean, I think we've all made those, but I'm just concerned that if we don't meet with them, they'll get even angrier and like start dashing to find us and kill us versus just normal pursuit speed.
I mean, there you go. So I mean, either way, we're dealing with that. So. I mean, I think we're just trying to test our resolve at this point about actually going through with it. We all know the risks. We all know the downside. So, unless there's any other reason we shouldn't do this, we should do it.
And do we have any sense of how big this encampment is? Is this like a really large encampment? Is this just a small outpost? Do we have any idea?
You can't really gauge that. But you saw the flame, and it seems to be coming from the foothills of a mountain, and it's actually a very prominent mountain. Looking at it, you see like this is a landmark of rugged hills within the Swords Mountains, and when you kind of glance at the map that you guys had kind of just drawn off, of um what do you call it?
The hobgoblin.
Yes, the hobgoblin, which had you had patched up. You had mended his wounds so that he was able to just walk back to wherever he came from. You kind of get that the landmark over there to the south of you guys, which is the north side of the Sword Mountains, it looks like to be roughly the landmark of Wyvern Tor.
The what now?
Wyvern Tor. It's basically the little mountain south of us.
It's on the
Okay.
map. I mean, like, it's on, like, the map on Roll20.
Yeah.
So it seems like the orcs are camped out at the foothills of Wyvern Tor. So how do you proceed?
I guess we have to go get...
YOLO.
I guess we have to go get enslaved by the orcs.
I mean, even if we leave and come back, they're just gonna get more prepared for us.
Yeah.
Assuming you could outrun them in the first place.
Exactly.
Which, as we found in that fight, they move very fast.
Yes.
So,
All right.
I guess we have to go.
Anything you want to take with you? Anything you want to prepare for specifically?
I'm bringing the blanket.
I'm bringing the dress.
Alex is going.
It does not fit
Of
you.
course.
Alex is going to drink heavily.
Okay. So exactly how heavily are you going to drink?
Well, not that actually that heavily, because I need to be able to walk and, you know, retain consciousness.
All right. So just enough to feel a buzz.
I suppose.
You guys want to define a marching order? How are you proceeding into this? Because okay, so when you guys get closer to the Wyvern Tor, this is about a 5-mile walk through plains and hills. You see that Wyvern Tor now in all its magnificent beauty, minus probably the potential orc ambush that is being set up for you guys. It is a sizable hill, and there's miles of rugged terrain on its flanks and slopes, and the being just able to find an orc in this landscape seems to be a tall order in itself. But you guys can try to do so with a survival check if you want to. But when you get closer, you can see that there is a prominent cave opening at the base of one of the foothills, which seems to be where the orcs had cascaded their lanterns or their torches, whatever light source it was when they were communicating with you at a distance.
Let's see.
Well, nothing ventured, nothing gained. We'll see if we can find orcs.
Exactly.
Let's see, you said survival check?
Yep.
Which isn't
Or you
gonna
can
be
make-
fantastic.
Apparently, drunk Alex is better at survival than sober Alex.
Or what, Jamie?
Or a perception check to reveal. These are two different things that you'll
Alex, which
reveal.
one did you want
take
from me? I
perception.
rolled the die.
Well, you said survival, and you
Okay.
did pretty well. So
I
22.
only got a 5, so nope.
I got a
I got
20
a 7, so nothing.
okay.
I'll go with a 10 on perception.
I got a 22
Alright.
on survival.
You actually pick up the trail of the oxblood.
And I'm assuming it's
And-
going right to the orcs.
It actually, yes, it on the golden grass that it's on the plains. It seems to be headed towards the path, the cave entrance within Wyvern Tor.
I suppose that explains the fire last night.
Like I said, they were probably having ham if I knew better.
Yes, well, on the small chance that we survive this, we're going to owe Phandelver and Ox.
I feel like given everything else that we've done for them, they might be able to overlook that, but yes, we do owe them an ox.
The rest of you, with your perception checks, see nothing of note. No orcs seem to be standing about the hills, the flanks of Wyvern Tor. As you guys continue to get closer and closer within the next 700 feet, right leading up to the entrance, you see that there is a stone brazier on either side of the entrance. This cave entrance is about 20 feet wide, and two stone braziers sit upon legs, and they just seem to be mounted outside the entrance itself.
Are their feet attached to the legs?
Yes. No toes, but feet.
It's an important question. Alex is gonna make this whole approach with like the robe on, like pulled, like tied closed, hood up. Pretty much just like cloth blob.
When you guys get about 300 feet away, you could essentially be seen from all directions if someone wanted to see you. You stand in this golden field with grass that's no taller than your knees, so not much concealment. Kieran, you have like a little bit more benefit to this, but your head can still be seen bobbing up and down as you skip through the grass.
Everybody sees the most adorable little tuft of hair ever popping over the top of the grass.
Even in morbid times where death is imminent, he still cracks wise.
Nah, I'm just cute.
Yeah, you're right. Too cute to die, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's your flaw.
Yup.
Adorable. At which point, when you get closer, you see one singular orc walk out of the darkness of the cave. He has a bow in one hand and a quiver on his back, but he has not an arrow nocked.
I sort of look between Bolg and Alex to
His
see
skin-
who's going to talk.
You
His
can't.
skin is dark and gray,
As
and
the
it kind
party
of just
stops.
blends in with the darkness.
As the party stops, Kieran bumps into the back of Bold and goes, "Hey!" He can't see above the grass.
Bold pulls Kieran up and puts him on his shoulders so that way he can see properly.
So that he can get hit by the first arrow.
Yes.
It's not for Kieran's benefit, it's a helmet.
Bolg is going to approach the orc, keeping about 30 feet away from him.
Okay.
I was surprised to receive your torch signal last night. I wasn't aware that you were so open to such tactics.
He looks down at all of you, all four of you, sizes and eyes, all of you guys. His eyes narrow. He has those dark, receded orcish eyes that are quite small already. But it's the eyes of sort of a hunter. And he says to you, Bullock, specifically, Brugor wants to speak with you.
Of course the old man would still be alive.
Is this in common, or...?
This is in common.
Okay. Alright. Let's go.
Kieran pats the top of Bulk's head. Who's that? Who's Bulgar? Is that their leader?
You'll see.
I'm gonna spend the entire time that we're in this little conversation. Oh god, stop yawning. I'm not even tired. It's Alex yawning, obviously. I'm gonna spend this entire time that we are having this conversation just sort of silently surveying, looking for like what do they have, what's laying around.
It is difficult to see within the confines of the cave, as you guys are hit by like bright sun on this golden plane reflects into your eyes, and it's difficult to tell. But one thing's for sure is that the entrance to the cave is sort of sloped up, so you have to go up like a slopey hill, and you can smell the faint smell of smoke, and it hangs in the air as you ascend this rugged ridge to the lower slopes of the hill. When you enter, the cave mouth opens up at the bottom of a ravine, and he kind of just lets you guys in, the orc.
Yeah, I'm just gonna keep like how bright is it? Is it like dark in here?
It's not super bright. It's probably like a house during the middle of the day with the shades closed and everything, so you can still see, but it's kind of has a darkened hue to things around you guys.
Okay.
There is, however, a campfire which illuminates most of the cavern, the central chamber of the cave itself, which allows you to see without being
Alex
at
is
a
just
disadvantage.
Alex is just taking in what is. Ooh, stop yawning! Damn. What is here? Like, are there other orcs? Are there weapons on the walls? Are there crates? Is there something on the fire?
When you come in here, you see that the singular orc which is watching and commanding the entrance has let you pass through. You walk through a smaller, narrower corridor, which is about 20 feet in width, before coming into a central chamber. There is one campfire in the middle of this chamber, and there seem to be about 7 sleeping bags, made of hide and furs. And there's what looks like a deer roasting upon a fire spit on that campfire. The ox, however, is tied to a stalagmite.
But it's
All
still
well
alive?
and good.
Huh.
Are all the supplies still strapped to the ox?
Absolutely not.
No.
There's just an orc somewhere paging through the friggin' Ilmater tome.
It has glasses on and everything.
I do say.
Are you saying something about my kind, Kieran?
Indubitably.
Bull goes ahead and reaches back and flicks one of Kieran's half ears for 1 point of damage.
Not the time.
You see from deeper within the cave, there is actually a ravine, like a water source, deeper into the cave. A large orc walks out of the darkness, and he has a gigantic axe on his back. With no intent to use it, it is holstered. And then, Alex, you see the orc that you had faced previously had thrown javelins at you, but luckily for you, he missed you. They greet you, and he says, "Welcome."
Kieran waves from on top of Bog. Hello. Oh, nice to meet you all.
Alex is just sort of staying quiet, expecting Bolg to want to deal with this.
Bella's just got sort of a tiny smile and just sort of waves with fingers.
What is exactly you want?
You know who I am.
Damn well I know who you are.
Then you know what it is you did to my men, my brethren.
Your brethren decided to go ahead and open fire on us.
You trespass our lands. And that is what we do to trespassers.
Hey, we took care of your trespasser problem. We were about to head back before we got ambushed.
He looks around, looking at the spit. And then another creature emerges from the darkness, somewhere deeper into the cavern. This humongous, probably 12-foot ogre. Just each foot just rumbles the ground, thump, 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 as he steps towards you guys. But he kind of just walks past you guys and goes over to the fire spit with the deer on it, and he starts to rotate it, cranking it slowly. Brugor says to you, "Do you not wish to speak?"
Not much more than necessary. You summoned us. I saw your torch, your lantern light. What is it that you wish to speak with us about?
He looks around, and what you can see is he eyes the bedrolls now. There are 7 bedrolls, but only at most now 3 orcs visible. The archer at the front of the den, Brugor himself, and the one you had faced. And then the ogre, which probably does not require a bedroll. It's himself. Brugor says, "I know when I've been bested. But this land is still mine. And I wish to extend an olive branch."
Well, that would be a change for all things considered. Naturally, we did kill your men, so it would only be fair that some reparations are paid. What exactly is it that you want?
"This belongs to you, yes?" And he gestures over to the ox.
Naturally. What would you want in exchange?
"The ox is yours to keep. But there's something you could do for me."
Bull goes ahead and gestures for him to continue.
"Bugbears. What do you know of them?"
We know that we've been trying to find them, as they've kidnapped someone that's important to us.
Bugbears are not like orcs. They have no loyalty.
No sense of decorum either, but that's neither here nor there. Would you want us to take care of them then?
If you could do what you did to my brothers, then surely you can do that to King Groll and his men.
Do you know where they are?
He nods slowly, as if hesitant and thinking about his actions very carefully. "I know exactly where they are. King Groll forms alliances with Drow."
Oh, this would he turns back to Kieran and Alex. Oh, this goes ahead and further goes towards Cornelius' story.
Sorry, what did you say?
This further goes to Cornelius' story.
Alex doesn't say anything, but she kind of just hands you that note from earlier that has the spider emblem on it.
Right. He goes ahead and he asks for the map so that he can ask them to point out where he is in location to where everything else is.
When you take out the map, he looks at it and he reveals to you the location. And he says, "The ruins of Cragmar Castle. He has established his base there."
Perfect. It's exactly what we needed to find out. Yes. No doubt we will take care of them.
he asks you, "What has King Groll done to you?"
Like I said, he kidnapped someone important to us that we need to find. The bugbears were the ones in charge of securing this person. No doubt, no doubt, King, this King Brognar, or what is
Groll.
Grolnar, or
Just Groll.
King Groll. Sorry, confused with names. No doubt, this King Groll would be the one making sure that his prisoners secure for the Drow.
I wish to simply see the lands returned back to the orc kind.
I can guarantee you that Groll and his forces will be removed from Cragmar Ruin.
He looks over to the ox. A gesture of good faith from Grumps. The ogre begins to untie delicately, as you've ever seen an ogre do, if ever you've seen an ogre. Undo the knot and take the reins and place it into one of your hands. Whoever wishes to reach out their hand and take the reins of the ox.
I'll do it. And I would like to stop and just sort of inspect the ogre hand, because this is the first time I've seen one up close, and it's very interesting.
It's huge and meaty. This is a rotund ogre. It is got like only, I want to say 4 fingers.
Okay, hold on.
So it's very odd to you. And he's not wearing much. He's wearing just pretty much a loincloth around his belt. And he smells a little bit funky.
Yeah, that sounds about right.
But he hands it over to you, Mirabelle. Kind of just looks at you with those big, dull brown eyes like a puppy.
Oh.
But nothing cute like a puppy.
Oh.
I'll just look up and smile at him and say thank you.
He waddles back over to the fire pit, and he continues the roast of the deer.
The feed for the ox was on the ox and is now gone, by the way.
Yep.
Wait, what?
The food for the ox was on the ox and is now gone.
Oh.
But we're also in a grassland, so we can probably make do for a while.
Let him forage, yeah.
And, just looking around, do I see our supplies that were with the ox? Do I see them, like, out, or parts of them or anything? Or is everything, like, well put away and hidden?
You see that there seems to be a mound of something. You're not sure what it could possibly be, but like behind like the series of tent rolls, or sorry, not tent rolls, bed rolls, you see that there's a mound of furs covering some stuff. You see like bear pelts and large animals that seem to be covering this mound of items, and you either think that it's a stash or it's just like their items. Their stash of potential plundered goods from people around the lands.
Holding the ox's rope, I'm going to look at, I don't remember his name, but the orc that we're talking to, the orc leader, and I will ask him, would you like to make a trade for our supplies that were with this?
What do you have in mind?
And I will sort of set my pack down, and I would like to take from it first the jeweled eye patch and see if he's interested in that.
Oh, ho ho ho! I need to look at that. Hold on 1 second. That's I need to look up the value of that because that might be something that actually would be a good trade.
Who cares if it's valuable? It's shiny.
I mean, why don't you wear it?
Well, it's shiny and it's an eye patch.
Because I already have my accessories.
So as I take it out, I'll hold it up to him and say, "I bet you would look very dashing in it." And
Okay.
maybe persuade him to give our shit back in a trade.
He says, Brugor, the orc chief of this den, says to you,
We will supply you back with your goods. We wish for success in this incursion.
and he
Says, Gog, retrieve their goods.
And actually, it's not from the pile of goods, but deeper within the cave, past the ravine, that you see in a few moments' time, Gog, the ogre, in one hand takes like the bundle of stuff and just drops it at your feet. And he gently, with his meaty hands, just takes the eye patch and tucks it into his loincloth.
I will smile warmly at him.
Isaac, you're flashing the internet.
Sorry.
Yeah, that's actually not appropriate.
Here.
Sorry. I had to fix something.
Mm-hmm.
So, anyways, I will smile at him and gladly hand over the jeweled eye patch in return for our stuff.
Okay.
And then I will try to start. Since I assume Bolg might want to further discuss with him or something, I will start trying to pack up the ox and like strap the supplies back on.
Alex is going to just immediately, as soon as the stuff hits the floor, she's gonna grab up the large book that is in there somewhere. Her prayer book. It's like a 5-pound book. It's a pretty big book.
Mhm. Go ahead, Matt.
She's just gonna grab up that book and just kind of clutch it, and like to anyone really paying, any attention to her, she's been shaking pretty much the entire time we've been in here.
Bolg is going to turn to Brugar and he's going to say, "You have a dagger I could borrow."
When you say that, from his belt, he takes out this lovely, intricately carved bone dagger, probably made from like the bone of an elk or something. And he hands it over to you.
Bolg changes from common to orcish, and he says, "Let's finish this with the old-fashioned vow."
And he agrees.
So Bolg goes ahead, and the other orcs he can clearly hear, but the others who he tries to call their attention to basically can get the gist that this is a ceremony of the orcish way of sealing a transaction in this manner, and says, "Tenets of Vrumsh, in his honor, we go ahead and we bind us by blood, for blood, and forever drenched in it." As he goes ahead and slits his palm open to go ahead and let the blood flow before handing the dagger over to Brugar.
He does the same, and he says,
Return this land back in the name of Grumps.
As it has been bargained, so it shall be. And the two shake hands.
your blood mix, and you can feel the orcish vigor.
Mhm.
Now, lastly, before you guys leave, Brugor is going to stop Alex for a moment.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
I would like to. How is he accomplishing this?
Yes.
What does he do exactly?
I don't know. You're gonna stop him. You see him approaching Alex.
Uh,
Just walking, orchestra, like just do orcish music, kind of walking over.
Turkish music.
What is music?
Orcish music is just like
Oh.
just
I
a series
will-
of grunts.
I'll go stand next to Alex so that she's not alone.
It's like a more base emphasized version of Staying Alive.
You have the book in your hand, Alex.
Yep.
He'll take it from you by force, like not very politely, and he looks at it.
The symbol of the Ilmatari.
That's right.
He opens it, cracks the spine a little bit. You can hear kind of the binding like stretch a little bit. Flips through it. Notices there's a few pictures, probably less pictures than he intended. And he says to you,
Are you some sort of priest or healer?
I'm not a cleric, if that's what you mean. I have medical training, but in the old ways, not in magic.
Can you check him out?
and he gestures to the one that threw javelins at you.
Yes, of course.
There is discoloration in the jewels.
Looks at Bolg.
Perhaps you'd rather. Kieran looks at Alex. Perhaps you'd rather me take a look at that. Maybe a little magic might help.
He says,
Little man, you won't be able to handle those jewels.
Who are you calling little? I'll have you know I am regular sized. You're all just very big.
Dell starts laughing.
Even Bolg has to let a chuckle at that.
And you'd be surprised at the size of the jewels that I've had in my hands.
You're not helping, Kieran.
What? I have.
he hands you back the book, and he says,
See to it that he's tended to. And if you wish, stay for supper.
Okay, so you hit him with icy or whatever.
Chill touch.
Chill touch.
Is that frost or necrotic?
Necrotic?
Frost.
Which
Is it
it's not
necrotic.
frost? Oh, man.
No, it's
Good luck.
necrotic. Yeah.
Goodbye.
Yeah. No. Let me reread it for the audience, so that way they have they don't need to go look up this if they do have it. You create a ghostly skeletal hand in space creature within range. Make a ranged spell attack to assail it with the chill of the grave. On a hit, the target takes 1d8 necrotic damage. It cannot regain hit points until the start of its next turn.
Good luck.
Until then, the hand clings to the target.
Oh, so not only does it do damage to you, it clings. It's a groping spell.
It clings for five. It clings for 5 seconds. So, but
I mean,
like,
depending on the orc,
there's
that
a-
might be long enough.
you're not going to find a hand there, but there's going to be, as he said, discoloration.
It is perfectly in the shape of a hand.
Point on the doll where the necrotic hand touched you.
There's a thing called death grip syndrome, but I don't think that's what they meant.
This game just keeps getting weirder. We haven't reached critical levels of weird yet.
Not yet.
Have we? Have we?
No, I said we haven't. We have not.
No,
we have-
I mean, we're finding new deaths every time we play this game. So I mean, eventually we'll find the floor.
Yes.
It's like a Jackie Chan says, how many boards are we gonna break before we actually stop?
Is it?
I don't know, but I'm just happy that we managed to weaponize Bolg's foot.
Okay.
Let's continue on, Alex.
The discoloration is magical and necrotic. It's if it heals, it's going to take a long time.
Then you better get to work.
I wonder if there's actually any like information on like if you can even like heal necrotic damage without magic.
I mean, you can just try, like, slap some salve on it or something.
I wouldn't slap that I was naming.
Wrong use of words.
Wrong. use of words.
Slather some salve on it.
Okay, let me. I want to Google this just for the sake of completion. Let's see.
I guess he won't be in completion anytime soon.
I just want to Google if this is a thing.
All right, so you guys have struck a deal with the chief of this orcish den, Brugor. He wants and intends for you guys to kick and, just dethrone King Groll the Bugbear. And he's giving you the location of Kragma Castle, a ruined site that is now inhabited by King Groll and is used as an operations base for this whole escapade, and potentially where Gundren is held, and where you may find the Black Spider, the Drow, the infamous one.
Right.
So, Brugor knows that he's a little bit outmatched right now, at least, probably. That ogre seems to be a liability if you guys wish to attack them while they're weak. But they seem to be in sort of a weakened stage, having you guys eliminated half, if not more, of their forces. So, how do you guys wish to proceed at this point? You have been invited to inspect the Orcish jewels and to have supper if you so chose to stay for it.
Can we tell what time it is?
Having all this discussion just finished, you guys have probably only spent this is like past midday. This is like in the afternoon, early afternoon. So you can definitely stay for supper before you leave, or you can try to stay overnight if you wish to before leaving at daybreak tomorrow.
Kieran will ask Bulg how he knows. What's his name? Bulgur?
Brugor.
Brugor. Brugor. You literally just said it, and I have terrible memory.
Oh, whoops! All the cameras are
Brugor.
frozen. There we go.
Brugor is what you would call brood brother.
What does that mean?
Well, we don't come... Bulk tries to think about it and how to put this tastefully. Orcish children are not raised by their birth parents. They're raised together in the same generation of orcs. We often refer to each other as broodmates when we're younger, before we become brothers and sisters in arms. Excuse me. I thought that might have been my old man, but again, no one seems to have seen him.
Or no one has lived to tell the tale.
That's also true. But again, that's neither here nor there.
So, do we want to stay for dinner with them? Not entirely sure that I trust orc cuisine.
It's decent enough. Has much more gaminess than maybe you're used to. But you must try the elk marrow soup.
Do you at least have salt and pepper?
The marrow is salty enough. And I'm pretty sure the only pepper they have are the what do they call them? Oh yes, They call them the Akinar nuts.
What is this obsession with orcs and nuts and jewels?
No, these aren't nuts, Kieran. They're peppers. They're hot. They're said to be as hot as Azinar's Scorcher. It's a fire spell, Kieran.
Oh. Well, I'll take your word for it, but what does everybody else think? Do you want to stay in the lion's den for the night, so to speak?
It would be rude to not stay for dinner.
Very true, but
I'm more concerned about Alex.
I was going to say, more worried about our younger compatriot.
Well, we have the tents back.
Very true. I suppose we could stay for dinner and I could keep an eye on her while we're here.
Whatever the problem with his injuries is, she can heal it, and we can leave before the sun sets. Get at least sun. Sorry.
There you go. Sorry.
It would be less discomforting to have someone who just killed their brethren sleeping in the same bed for them. Whatever peace they've made, it's one that they've made with the intention of survival. He whispers to Kieran, any chance you give them and they will most certainly take it. Let's resist the temptation while we are in their good graces.
Alright. I'm going to try and help Alex. Don't like the idea of leaving her alone. Not here.
Please do.
Kieran will go run off and find Alex.
Alex, do you tend to the wounds of the orc?
Yes. She'll pretty much never take her hood off or anything, though. She'll just do what needs to be done.
Okay. So essentially, if you're gonna do this, like if you're gonna actually help the orc out and try to tend to his wounds, you'll expend another use of your medicine kit. And Kieran, you walk in on them, like bandaging and stuff. Like, do you want to pull Alex away during that, or did you want to wait?
I'm not going to pull her away, but I'll like sit next to her while she's doing her work. How's it coming along?
Well, I don't think it's going to heal the way that he expects it to. It's necrotic. It's flesh-eating in the more common tongue.
Do you think a bit of healing magic might help, or? I admit I'm no expert on this subject.
I don't know what kind of magic Bolg used. Some types of necrotic damage can't be easily healed away, even with magic.
Do you think we should try anyways?
I don't know, Kieran. I'm just doing what I've been told.
Kieran nods. Alright. Let's finish up as fast as we can. We've decided to stay for dinner, but we'll camp out and spend the night on our own.
She just kind of nods at you.
Okay. So you guys stay for dinner. And you are intending to sleep the night as well?
No, we plan to leave after dinner and camp.
Okay.
Try to make some distance from their immediate area before setting up camp.
All right.
Yeah, we we don't want to risk any temptation of a midnight slaughter.
I'm trying to find a page right now. So you guys said you guys have dinner in the lion's den, in a den of orcs. Things aren't as awkward as they actually would seem.
Tell that to Alex.
That's what I'm saying. It's not the most comfortable thing, yet it's not the most awful thing. Probably the worst thing about it is sort of the loud rowdiness of the orcs and the smell within the cave, but it's not awful. You've seen Kieran eat more and more vigorously than these orcs do, essentially.
They're all eating together, and Kieran is just scarfing down food while they
it's like one of the orcs turn towards Kieran, like it's like a competition at this point.
Kieran reaches over with his tiny little arm and stabs one of the big pieces of mutton, and then looks at the orc right next to him, who looks vaguely offended.
No, at the same time, they both stab into it at the same time. I want you to make an athletics check to steal it away.
No, this isn't going to work very well. I'm bad at athletics. I have nothing in athletics.
Well,
Just try.
Jamie, I want to try something.
Uh-huh.
I want to do sleight of hand to try and cut them apart before they pull it.
Okay, make a sleight of hand check.
So we avoid diplomatic.
12.
All right. You cut it. Which way do you cut it? Are you trying to give like one piece to, or
what?
what?
I was gonna divide it down the middle, but now that you mention it, 60-40.
60. Oh, who's getting the bigger piece?
Yeah, who's getting the bigger piece, Bulg?
Kieran?
Kieran,
do you doubt me? Do you doubt me?
Sure. Kieran grabs the bigger piece and like just growls at the other orc, and you've never seen Kieran like this. Like normally, like he's all cheery like this, but he looks at the orc in the eye and he goes, "You will not get any."
Make a strength save.
Oh
You're gonna
boy.
get tossed.
It's time.
You got this.
It's tossing time.
That's a 19 because I rolled a 20, but I have a -1.
Okay. So 19. What you see happening is when the orc notices that he got like the smaller portion, he pauses and you can see orcish fury in his eyes. He looks towards you, Kieran, and he exhales like an ox, like a bull would. And then he bursts out laughing. And he's going to slap you with a big old slap on the back.
I spew a piece of food out at the person directly across from me.
That's me.
Roll text to not have it go in your mouth and choke on it.
I'm going for it. Okay. Is that a saving throw or just a dex check?
Oh, a save. You don't want that. You want to save away from bad things.
Saving throw. 13.
Narrowly avoid the piece of meat that goes flying at your vague, food speak orifice. I forgot the word for mouth.
Food speak orifice.
That is the most complicated way you could have gone about that.
That was like a 10 guy meme right there.
I don't know what that means.
The meme where the guy is really high and can't remember the words for things.
It's like when people call raccoons trash pandas and that nonsense.
Okay.
I will scribble down in my book very quickly. Alex will probably see it, and then I'll hold it up to Kieran, and all Kieran sees on the other side of the table, 6.5 out of 10.
6.5 out of 10.
Kieran slams his fist down at the table. That was nice, 8.5!
All right. After having spent supper in the lion's den with orcs,
I would also like to point out I'm sitting next to Alex during all of this, and I will hold her hand if she lets me.
It's pretty much just like sweaty and still trembly.
Mom spaghetti.
No,
Mom
no.
spaghetti.
Mom spaghetti would require having a mom.
You are the team mom, so your spaghetti.
It's Kieran's spaghetti, but he's basically Alex's like adoptive mom at this point, and it's his mother's recipe.
It's Kieran's spaghetti, but it's all over my sweater.
But is it ready?
I mean, did it stick?
Apparently so.
It's okay. We had the blanket. Blanket took the brunt.
So, any last things you guys want to do, or is that it?
I think we're good.
Okay. So, spending the dinner with the lion's den of orcs, and staring down Brugor Axbiter, the orc chieftain, and striking a deal with them, and then having the Nads to actually stay, medicine the orc to your best ability, back to health, and having supper. I'm going to grant you guys a boon. So, the next intimidation check that you guys make, you guys can have expertise on this one roll.
Oh, man.
Oh.
Kieran is going to have fun with that.
So, essentially, double your intimidation modifier if you have proficiency in it.
Intimidation. I'm not proficient in intimidation.
If you're not proficient in it, then you are simply proficient for that one roll.
Okay.
Then I'm what?
Expertise.
So if you have proficiency in intimidation, you can roll with expertise. If you're not proficient, then you simply roll adding your proficiency to it.
Okay, sorry, you just roboted for a second. Last section. Thank you.
No, you don't roll now.
Oh, oops.
You roll when you need it next time.
When you
Okay.
need it, the next just make a note somewhere on your sheet that the next time you make intimidation that you add the modifier again.
Gotcha.
So this is good
Adding
for
it to
one.
my sticky
This
notes.
boon will expire the next time you choose to use it.
Okay.
Okay. Wrote that down.
Okay. At this point, your intent was to leave immediately and set up camp somewhere down the road, right?
Yep.
On your way back to.
Yeah.
Yes.
You have the ox in tow. You have made your blood oath to Brugor Axbiter, and you know the location of Cragmaw Castle.
And I have also earned the respect of the other orcs. Establish dominance. Refer to them by their student numbers. 205-178-53, pass me the asparagus!
That's from Community.
What?
Is that from Community?
No, it's
Oh.
not. I wish it was, but it was not.
All right. So, I think this is actually a good place to stop for the night because we can continue with a lot, but I don't want to get into something and stop midway.
That's
Okay.
fair.
I'm
Okay.
fine with that because
That would be good.
So
I'm hitting
next
the wall.
next week, you guys have choices to make. You can go
Yes,
to
we do.
you obviously going back to Phandelver to resupply, and then you choose where you go from there.
Yep.
Yep.
Okay.